What's going on, everybody? It is your humble live stream. We are here. Getting the hydration going early. Getting the hydration going early while we're waiting for more people to come join the stream. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, truly amazing Sunday afternoon. Always have to check. Always have to check. I've been caught out there calling it the wrong day. Calling it Monday and it was a Thursday. So we always check now. It's Sunday. I'm good. How's everybody doing? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Come on in. We're going to have a little chat. A little Sunday evening chat. A little Sunday afternoon chat. Nothing too serious. Have a little chat. Hopefully have a few laughs, some jokes. Giggle or two. Appreciate people already hitting that like button. Thank y'all. Appreciate that. Appreciate y'all spending time with your boy. Going to be talking about abundance. One of my favorite topics. We're going to be talking about abundance. And I think these days, we really need this. Gonna give it a few more moments. See if we can get some more people in before we get started. I had a wonderful Sunday. Oh yeah, it is Father's Day. I actually talked to my dad the other day, so I feel like I'm good. You know me, I don't respect all the fathers out there. Respect all the fathers. I just don't be knowing about the holidays. But it is Father's Day. I know because of Instagram, you see the obligatory pictures of everybody's dads, which is, it's always kind of funny to me. Like the people who post their family constantly, cool. But like people who like only post their mom on Mother's Day, I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little weird to me. We're talking about abundance. I'm waiting until we get like 50 people. And then I'm going to get started. A couple of people talking about the subscriber numbers. Thank y'all. We're almost there. And when I say thank y'all, I mean thank y'all because y'all are the ones subscribing and keeping the channel going. So I just put the content up there. Y'all have the lion's share of the work. Y'all do the watching. y'all do the watching, which is arguably much harder. All right, 50 people. Let's go. Today we're going to be talking about how to live an abundant lifestyle. And I think we definitely need discussions like this because main conversations right now, especially like America. I don't know about other parts of the world, what their economic situations are looking like, but I know here in the States, it's recession, inflation, gas prices. That's all we're getting. And I did a short the other day. I did a short here on YouTube, and it was called, like, when people ask me about inflation, I always bring up abundance. Because like I'm a big believer that the universe in which we all inhabit is an abundant universe. The source God is an abundant source God. Like, I feel like abundance is all around us. I feel like if we weren't living in abundance, none of us would be here. You know how much extra stuff there is on this planet? You know what I mean? You know how much extra unnecessary stuff there is on this planet? How much beauty and all this other stuff that does not need to be here. You could have all the same organisms and none of them be appealing to the eye. We wouldn't know. I think on things like that. There's just so many things I feel like on this planet, that even as we look out into the universe at the stars and other things that are there almost purely for like our enjoyment, that don't have to be there. So I really believe it is an abundant universe, and it is not out to get us. It's not out to get us, and there might be things that happen we're not too crazy about, probably not too crazy about paying higher prices. But that doesn't mean the universe is not abundant. And I personally feel like if you're tapped into divine power, which all of us are, we're tapped in. I think a lot of times we don't know how to control it, but we're all tapped in because we're all a part of the universe. Then like abundance is bigger than like the economy. Abundance is bigger than a stock market crash. Abundance is bigger than the prices on your items at the store. And I think when you kind of live your life on a level where you're like a higher, I don't want to say higher level of like thinking, but like when you look at abundance and you look at things on like a universal level, you don't get mired down and just kind of like that negative humankind kind of thinking that it is so just like, I don't know, like bottom rung. You know what I mean? It just seems like it's just so, yeah, I don't like, just so that the world is so much big. The universe is hard for me to talk about. The universe is so much bigger. If your whole world is like prices, like what are you doing with your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, if your whole world is just like revolves around the gas, and I get that, like, yeah, we live in a society where money is important. Wish it wasn't that way, but it is. But that doesn't mean like we have to focus like all our attention on that. You can realize, okay, prices might be going up. There might be some stuff going on with the economy, but look at all this other awesome stuff over here. And you can also fully believe that like the universe is abundant. It will help me pay these bills. It will help me get these groceries. It will help me put gas in the car. And the crazy thing is that when you look at from what I've seen so far, and in the years that I've been trying to change my mindset, what I'm seeing is that like once I start looking at things that way, then the abundance shows up. When I used to look at things very narrow and from a very human standpoint, I was going through it. Money was an issue a lot of times. Now that was coupled with a lot of bad financial decisions I used to make back in the day. But like now that I've changed up my perspective and my mindset and my viewpoints, like it just seems like the abundance flows into my life. The more I believe in abundance, the more abundance there is. And that's when I start thinking like, oh, it's not about just a random set of events that happen to us in this life. We have the power to like influence what happens to us in this life. So if you like really believe in abundance, abundance will come into your life. And this is what we all want. That's the crazy thing. That's what like everybody wants, is to like have what they need and a little more. But when is there any issues going on here? Real quick, I'm watching the numbers. They seem to be jumping up and down. Hang on real quick, folks. I want to see something. I want to make sure we're streaming good. Everybody's good? Okay, cool. Want to double check. You always gotta. Yeah, it's just funny that like it's because you try to talk to people about abundance, and no one wants to hear it. But it's like that is what can like bring what you're looking for into your life. You know what I mean? Like that's what like is what we're looking for is abundance, but like people don't want to talk about abundance. Hang on, folks. I'm just gonna double check we good. Gonna double check we good here. Oh, hold on. I gotta find it. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds, folks. Checking on my other phone. Okay, looks good. I'll put this right here and see how it's. I'm looking at it on my other phone, so I'm just checking to make sure it's. Okay, cool. Yeah, I debated whether I should do it on my phone, and I was like, nah, I'll do it on my laptop. But yeah, I know it's I can tell when the way the numbers fluctuate when like it's choppy and people are leaving. So I was wondering, maybe it'll roll out from now on. Like I know what I kind of know what the issue is now. And I didn't try to fix it. But abundance. Back to what we're talking about abundance. You know what I mean? It's working fine now. Because I believe. And if it gets choppy again, folks, I'll just switch to my phone. It's not a big deal. As much as I pay for internet, shouldn't have any choppiness issues. But that's just that's the nature of the game. That's the nature of the game. That's just the way it is. Where were we? Thank y'all for letting me know it was a little choppy too, by the way, so I keep an eye on that. Yeah, it's just weird. Like once you see like other people's thinking, You don't know? Yeah, the bandwidth is lacking in abundance mindset. The bandwidth needs to change your perspective. Like once you see like other people's thought processes, it you just I know for me, like man, I wish I could just like reach out and punch everybody in the face and then they like get abundant. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just like the more I'm learning how much power we have to like influence our life and influence our reality, the more like I want to, just shout it from the rooftops. Because it's like you don't have to just view the world like it's bad and it's negative and like, things just because things happen doesn't mean life sucks. You know what I mean? Like getting to that point, and like I know that this is not, and I'm not saying I have that mastered at all, but like getting to the point where you're like, okay, something can happen and I'm not thrilled about it, but that doesn't mean that life is horrible. You know what I mean? Something can happen in this life. I'm not thrilled about it. It might cause me pain and suffering, but like that doesn't mean that life is, horrible. Doesn't mean that life sucks. And it definitely doesn't mean that there's still not a ton of abundance out there. I mean, fortunes rise and fall in an instant. You know what I mean? You can be up one day, down the next, down one day, up the next. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's perspective. Like two people can go through the exact same situation and one person's fine. Hey, I'm gonna make the best of it. Let's go. The other person never overcomes it. They have stories where they've interviewed like identical twins, same family, same household, same situation. There was one I was hearing about the other day, and they were saying like the two identical twins, sons. They had an abusive dad who used to beat the mom, beat them, all this stuff going on. One twin turned to drugs and alcohol, and when they interviewed him, 20 years later, they were like, why did your life turn out the way it is? And he was like, well, my dad was abusive. He beat me. So that's all I knew. So I turned to drugs and alcohol. They interviewed his identical twin who went in the exact opposite direction and had a family and, was successful and doing well. And they asked him, like, why did your life turn out that way? And he was like, oh, I had an abusive dad who beat me and, my mom and my brother. So I vowed I would never do that. And so that's when my life went that direction. It's not like what happens to us a lot of times. It's like what we do with it. And what we do with it starts with our thoughts. If we're always having a victim mentality and we're always blaming everything that happens in the world and we just have this lack mindset, then like guess what's going to happen? We don't like to think this because I think a lot of times in life we don't like to like take accountability. But it's like a lot of the stuff that comes in our life is us bringing it into it with our attitude, with our mindset. If you're like, woe is me, bad stuff always happens to me, bad stuff's going to keep happening. Like, it's just the way it is. But if you're just like, yeah, things happen, but I just keep moving, keep it pushing, you'll find that eventually, like, a lot of that bad stuff just doesn't happen no more. It's almost like whatever is dishing out the stuff. I mean, because there is no good and bad other than our perspective, but it's almost like whoever's dishing out the happenings is like, she don't care about this. I'm just going to give her the good. You know what I mean? Like, it's here. The abundance is here. Two people can go through the exact same issue, and one person, no issue. The other person keeps them down forever. And now, of course, yes, in every situation in life, there are different circumstances. This would be a very long stream if we had to sit here and name off all the other, situations that could cause different things. I understand. Sometimes people have mental health issues, things of that nature. Yes, we can't sit here and name off all the factors that could change some things up. We're going very surface here because that's all we can do because we don't know what everybody's going through. And I'm a big believer too in like not using excuses. Now, if someone else wants to use an excuse, like, hey, because of this, no. Like for me, and a lot of the people that I rock with, who are some of the most positive, happy, whatever people, they don't let anything be an excuse. Because there's always, all of us got excuses. That's part of the mindset. Like people who are always like, well, because I had this, I can't, like the people who are just like, I'm gonna keep it pushing no matter what. I have this, but I don't even think about it. I just live my life. Those are the people that seem to just like have that abundance coming in and have these great lives. Like, I just don't. I feel like we're just programmed to like it's excuses and we blame everybody else. It's always something. It's always something negative. It's just like, I'm like, bro, like it's abundant out here. Who do you think takes care of the trees and the animals and everything? Who do you think take care of all that? It can't take us. It can't take us through a economic downturn. You got to be think bigger than like this man-made stuff. You know what I mean? Man comes along, and none of this stuff is here. We invent this stuff like money and all this other stuff, and then when something goes wrong in that, we think it's the end of the world. We don't look at like all the other wonderful stuff around us. GMAC, you know what I mean? I respectfully disagree. I think that if we all had abundance mindset, we could fix supply and demand issues. This is what I'm saying. Maybe this sounds like woo-woo hippie talk, but like I don't live in a world where like that stuff can't be changed by mental power or the collective. I don't live in a world where like there's outside stuff that's untouchable. In my reality, all that stuff could be changed. And if I can't influence the whole collective, I could change it for me. Hey, there might be supply and demand issues, but guess what? If I believe in abundance, I always have the food I need to eat. You know what I mean? That's just the way I look at it. I don't think there's anything that you like. Everything is. This is what I'm trying to portray. Like, get my point across. It's like everything is in the universe. Everything we know is in the universe, and the universe is an abundant universe. So that means there could be abundance with everything. We pick out one little human thing that we messed up. If there's any food shortages or supply and demand issues, it's because humans screwed it up. There's enough food on this planet for everybody. There's enough everything on this planet for everybody. We screw it up. We screw it up with greed and things of that nature. And then we act like it can't be fixed with like universal power. Bro, like it's all within the realm of the universe, man. Like we can't, nothing is impossible. I just can't, and maybe it's just because I've changed my perspective, but I just can't see anything as insurmountable. Anything is just a hardcore, this can't be fixed. No, the universe is abundant. It could all disappear tomorrow. All these issues could be gone tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way I see things. That's the way I see things. I just can't get wrapped up. Like, no. Especially when, a lot of this stuff is by design. So you can't, some of the stuff, who knows what, but some of it's by design. It was literally humans who set it up on purpose to be a certain way. It's us doing it. It's us doing it a lot of times. And then the rest of us who aren't in on the whatever, we're out here, woe is me. Like, nah, I can't. I just and even if the abundance I might be looking for in certain areas doesn't always happen, it's still an abundant universe. I may think, I want this to be very abundant, and it might not happen. It's still an abundant universe. Maybe just that thing there wasn't meant for me. You might be really looking for a mate. Hasn't happened. Doesn't mean the universe isn't abundant. Just might mean in that situation, it ain't the right timing. When you was growing up, your parents might have had money. That didn't mean they was always going to give it to you when you asked for it. Doesn't mean they was broke. They might have had a ton of money in the bank. You want $5 to go to the movies, they might be like, nah. Doesn't mean they're broke. That just means just means they wasn't giving it to you right then. You might ask next week, and they're like, yeah, here's 10, take your friend. That's the way I look at it too. I just try to like roll with the punches. I know the abundance is out there, and when it's time for me to get it, I get it. And a lot of times, even when I'm not even looking for it, it shows up. It's like, oh, this is abundance. It's just, I don't know. I just, and the opposite mindset doesn't work. That's part of it too. Like the opposite mindset doesn't work. Like a scarcity mindset, a mindset of lack doesn't make anything any better. Going around every single day at work talking about how much groceries cost you, how much more groceries cost you, doesn't make the groceries cost any less. How much higher gas prices is. Like we like to, I don't know why we like to bring stuff like that up. Like we can't wait to get around and be like, did you know gas is up 25 cents? Why? Like, what does it do for anyone? That's one thing I would love to like, and I guess you can analyze it, but that's one thing I'd love to like figure out what we get out of like doom and gloom news. Like, what is it doing for us? Like, or what do we think it's doing for us? You know what I mean? It's just weird. Yeah, I agree, Feral Kid. Like, one of the reasons I love nature is that it takes me out of just the realm of the man-made. I got to get outside these boxes we create for ourselves. I got to get away from these devices, which I love my devices, but like, I got to get away from them sometime, and I got to get back out in nature and like become one and join in the rhythm. That's why I like walking, and then because I can join in with the natural rhythm of like life, and then I get it. When you're always, inside buildings and inside cars and around people and on your device, and like all you see is man's thoughts and man-made stuff, like you're pulled away from like nature, and you start to think our stuff is like the only stuff is the only way. But like you get back in nature, you get in tune with that natural like ebb and flow and the stillness and the pace. You're like, oh, this is real. Nature is real. Our stuff is just like a small subset of it, but we think it's everything. We think man stuff is at the top, everything else is beneath us. And it's like, nah, like everything else is it. We're just a small subset of that. Just because we're the most destructive subset doesn't mean we're the most important. That's another like fallacy out here that humans are the most important. Are you kidding? Like, I'm telling you, the other animals sit around like laugh at us. It's like they really think they're doing something. The other animals sit around laugh at us. They're like, there the humans go again. And then when they hear our conversations, they hear what we're complaining about. They're like, again. They don't realize this happens every 20 years, every 40. Again, they worry. This is what they talk about again. See. This is. I'm about to be real abundant right here and block somebody. I put them in timeout. Was trying to be nice. The new me, I'm trying not. Oh, I looked it up because I blocked somebody the other day and I felt bad and I unblocked them. I literally have about 400 some people blocked. So that might be a little extreme. That might be a little too abundant. So I was trying to be nice and just put people in timeout. But I think some people, some trolls ain't happy till you block them. But like, it's part of the, it's part of the ebb and flow of nature. It's part of the ebb and flow of nature that there's going to be people who just can't, for whatever reason, just have to be negative and nasty. Like I you know what I mean? Like, do what you do. That's another thing I'd love to understand. Yeah. A lot of people have asked to be moderators. I don't know. I'll admit I'm very like hands-on because the thing is too, like, there are some people that sometimes some of my friends will come in and like say crazy stuff. I got some friends that I know them personally. Sometimes they get a little drunks and they might come in and say something crazy. And like, I don't want them to get blocked by accident, by a moderator and me not see it. So one of these days I might get a moderator, but I do a pretty good job of policing it, like, and I don't want to talk negatively about trolls. I try not to have negative stuff to say about people in general. So I got empathy. Maybe they're going through something. I don't know. It's just humans are funny, man. Humans are funny. We do some interesting stuff. There's definitely an abundance of personalities on this planet, which I guess is good. It'd get boring if everybody was the same. I guess you need trolls to make those of us who don't troll, feel good. I don't know. What is it? I don't know. Lawrence asked me about flat earthers. That's another one of those topics. Like, I just don't. I don't agree or disagree. Like, maybe in their reality, the Earth is flat. I don't know. Like, I've never been off the planet and seen what the Earth was. So, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. It's one of those topics. It doesn't change my day-to-day life. If scientists came out tomorrow and said the Earth is actually flat, I'd still have to pay rent at the end of the month. You know what I mean? It's not something that really affects me. So, like, I just don't really care. I think it's yet another one. Like, a lot of times we're good, and we all have our stuff. But I think a lot of times people pick a cause and just run with it, and it really makes no difference to most people. But we'll try to jam it down their throat. What I mean? If it changed my life, maybe I'd care. But I'm like, I don't. I'd still have to pay my car note if it was determined the Earth was flat. So, like, it doesn't. There used to be some flat earthers who came through a lot. It was always fun because they'd come in like groups and they'd be like, the Earth is flat, you idiots. Like, they like spam the comment, and they stopped. I don't know. They stopped. Beautiful by design. I took the daily awards down because I checked my analytics and I was losing subscribers. So I stopped doing them, and then I took them down because the algorithm is going to recommend pretty much anything you have uploaded, and I didn't want it recommending those if I wasn't going to keep doing them. So I took it down. Yeah, David, in the 1700s, they swore the Earth was flat, just like we swear it's round. 500 years from now, they might swear it's a cube. That's another thing. I don't get all wrapped up in, this stuff changes. This stuff changes. If you told them, 300 years from now, the world's going to be round, they would have laughed at you. Just like if someone says now, 300 years from now, the world will be a cube, we'll laugh. But it's just as possible. They could develop a new telescope and be like, hey, now if you look at the Earth through Waka Waka vision, it's square. They were idiots back in 2023 when they thought it was round. Like, all this stuff changes. Meow's Garage, thank you. Super Chat Squad, I appreciate that. Appreciate the love. Thank you. So thanks for the great content, Tim. Minimalism is changing lives. It is. It's on my list to do another minimalism video. I'm warning you, it's going to be different. Super Chat Squad, thank you, Meow's Garage. I appreciate the support. It's going to be a different minimalism video. It's not going to be your cookie cutter standard, there's nothing in my room. Like, it's going to be like, me, I like to talk about, I don't like to do minimalism possession videos. I like to do like minimalism, like thought-provoking videos. That's where we're going to come from. But I do need to do another one. Beautiful by design. I honestly don't view the algorithm as a bully. A lot of people do. The algorithm is your best friend. So, like, when you work with it and it works in your favor, that's how your channel blows up. So, like, I love the algorithm. It's your best. I always say the algorithm is your best friend. Like, I just think that you do have to work with it. But that's everything in life. I'm on YouTube's platform. It's provided me a space to, like, grow and make money and share my passion. Their algorithm set up a certain way. Like, even that, what I just said, is actually the algorithm helping. Like, anything you upload is going to show to people. It's not its fault that, like, if the daily awards weren't popular. You know what I mean? Like it just, hey, you uploaded something, I show it to people, it didn't do well, you lost subscribers, people weren't watching it. It's not the algorithm's fault. If your stuff's not playing well with the algorithm, whenever something of mine doesn't do well, it just wasn't good. I just wasn't good enough today. That's the way I look at it. Hey, I just wasn't good enough today. That doesn't mean it's not good content, and maybe people don't like it and enjoy it, but algorithm wise, it just wasn't good. People wasn't watching, So like I love the algorithm. I live it. Yeah, some things don't work. I appreciate y'all saying y'all like the daily word. Some things just don't work. I was talking to my roommate about this yesterday, and I was like, that's one of the things that, like, when you first start out, like on the internet, like YouTube or any platform, and when you're doing it purely for the passion, it doesn't matter about results. But as you kind of grow and you start to maybe live off your earnings and things like that, then it becomes more of a business, and some moves you have to make for other reasons other than just it was fun to do. So there's that trade-off. Like, yeah. By the way, appreciate y'all hitting the like button. We're almost at 100 likes. If there's anybody who maybe forgot to hit or hadn't hit it yet, if you mind, you don't have to. You don't have to, but if you'd like to do that for your boy, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Scott Edwards, I do have a daily meditation practice. I actually didn't do it today though, because I was doing some other stuff. But I get up in the morning, I listen to maybe some Alan Watts or some Wayne Dyer or something, something positive. And then I'll meditate for like 30 minutes. And there was a couple times I tapped into the bliss, Scott. Yes, definitely. I just got that there was a couple times like I was there. That's how I describe it. Like I was there. And it just hit me that like there's nothing to worry about. Like it was just that pure feeling of, oh, I get it. There's nothing to worry about it. And then when I thought about being there, it went away. Like it was when I thought like, oh snap, I figured it out. I'm here. If I lived the rest of my life this way, it went away because I was overthinking it. I should have just sat in that moment. So I've definitely been there. Not a lot, but I do feel like I'm way more peaceful just in general from meditating. Appreciate y'all hitting the thumbs up. The numbers went up. Thank y'all. So it's like, yeah, I definitely have seen the benefits from meditation. And there were a couple of times when it was really like in the moment benefits. Yeah, Celeste, and here's the thing, if you just keep creating, by accident, something will hit with the algorithm, And there's tons of videos. There's tons of videos and courses that teach you about the algorithm if that's what you're trying to do. But like a lot of times, if you just keep creating off the muscle, off the strength, something will hit. And then like as you have, you can figure out why, a big part of it is probably one of the, watch time is huge. And the first 24 hours of your video is huge. Like if you have a video and it does well in the first 24 hours, it's going to get pushed. But like, yeah, if the first 24 hours is kind of like, yeah, that's a big one. Like it has to really go hard that first 24 and then YouTube, the algorithm will just push it out. Yeah, y'all skillful. We got the beard going. I need to trim it up. So I'm just getting kind of thick in spots. I need to trim it up a little bit. Preacher 8 said, go bald. I can shave my hair off a lot. I go bald pretty often. Thanks, V. Have a dad look with the beard. Okay. Hey, I'll take that. My dad's an awesome person. So if I got a dad look going on, yeah. Three more rows is gang. Yeah, I'm going to keep the beard thick. I just want to tighten it up. So like some of these areas is I just want to like tighten it up. So, and then I'll let it grow back. I just want to kind of just trim it up a little bit. It's getting a little wonky, but I keep saying, I'm gonna wait till it gets nice. When I start putting the oil in there, it's gonna get real nice, right? It's gonna be nice. And then I'm gonna shave it all off just to show I'm not attached to it. just to show I'm not attached to it. That will be more fun to me than growing the beard. Everybody be like, "Why'd you shave it off?" No, I can't wait to do that. I can't. Oh, that's gonna be more fun to me than. And I'm enjoying the beard growing process, but that's gonna be the most fun. I know me. Scott doing that 3 hour up to 3 hours a day is getting outer worldly. I can believe it. Otherworldly. I can believe it. There's power in the just sitting, meditating. Like it's powerful. Lawrence, I don't have a favorite color. I don't like to do favorites. So telling you, attachment. Once you start learning to let go of stuff in life, even if you really like it, it's not much they can do to you. It opens up a whole different set of variables in your life. Because like stop worrying as much about stuff. It's like I really like this, but if I had to get rid of it, I could. You know, I think this beard works for me, makes me look a certain way. Still cut it off. Don't care. You know, this is just a beard. This is just hair growing on a body that like I'm inside of. The body's not me. The beard is not me. This is just like my avatar. It's just like if I was playing a video game and I changed my avatar. It's that. Oh, I'm gonna make my avatar purple today. It's just that. It's the same. Not attached. Did I ever get a little existential crisis when downsizing my possessions free? No. No. I mean, there were like the probably the biggest issue I had was just some stuff I couldn't at the moment let go of. And I remember telling myself, I'm like, okay, I just won't. There's no rules. It's not a race. Like you don't have to, hurry up and get rid of stuff. I'll circle back a month later, and if I still want to keep it, I'll keep it. A lot of times I circle back, and I could get rid of it then. So yeah, I never really had like existential crisis, nothing like that. It wasn't. I mean, I think because I took a lot of the like just like anxiety and stuff out of it, like because I just was like, I'll get rid of the stuff I feel like getting rid of. If I don't, I won't. Like there was no, you know, and just a lot of the starting small, I think, helped me so that if I was getting rid of some stuff, because sometimes your self worth and your belief in who you are is tied into with your possessions. So in cases like that, yeah, you might get rid of something and suddenly like, who am I? I was very proud that I own this one possession and I identify with other people who own that possession. And, this is me. You get rid of that. You're like, who am I? But I think by kind of baby stepping it and slowly just kind of getting rid of stuff, starting small, and then like reaping the benefits of getting rid of that small stuff and realizing, okay, none of this is really me. It's just stuff I own and you can't really own anything. I think that helps when you do like get rid of some of the bigger stuff. You're just kind of like, oh, it's it's not me. Simple black vegan. How's it going? Hashtag abundance. I agree, Jay Dragon. Yeah, losing your attachment to things, it doesn't seem like it would, but that's what really allows you to like tap into abundance. I think it doesn't seem like it would, because you would think, oh, the more stuff I have, the more I believe in abundance. But it's the opposite. The people who have a lot of stuff and are really like dialed in on possessions, they're the ones who seem to have like the scarcity mindset the most. Because it's like I gotta have. It's like you're just saying, oh, I have to get this stuff. I have to acquire this stuff. It might go away. I need to bring it. But like when you're just like when you're carefree and you can just let go of attachment, you're not worried about it. You're basically sending out the message. I know that if I need it, it can come back into my life. I don't feel like I have to hold on to things and I have to hoard. Nah, like if I need it, it'll come into my life. And that was another thing that helped me when I was downsizing too. Is just like a lot of stuff that I got rid of or sold or whatever. I'm like, because sometimes you're like, what if I need this? So I'll just buy another one. Oh, and that was a very comforting thought. I'm like, oh, you can just buy another one. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's weird that once you learn to just start letting go of stuff, then you start realizing just how abundant you own nothing, but you need nothing. You know what I mean? Like, but you also realize everything is out there. You know, it's a weird. You kind of have to go through it to feel it. Penny C said, Tim, do you plan on what you will do the next month or two, or do you just make spontaneous decisions to pick up and go to live in another state? Sometimes I'm planned out. Like since I have a home base, since I signed a lease here, I'm here until spring of next year. But other times I just before this, yeah, I was just kind of I'd be somewhere and I'm like, I want to go to this state, and I'd go down there, and I went down to Florida, hung out with friends and family. Next month I was in Myrtle Beach. Like I just sometimes I just go with the wind, but other times I'll identify, all right, I'm gonna be here for a little bit. Well, I'm getting behind these comments. Appreciate all the love. What am I afraid of, Danielle? I get asked that a lot. It's kind of an interesting question. I'm not like afraid. Like the stuff that the thought of it might I get a little. There's things I don't want to happen in my life, but I don't sit around just like being afraid of stuff. It would be hard for me to pick something and be like, I'm scared of that. We all have stuff that might frighten us if it happens, but I don't if there was something going on right now, I might be like, oh, I'm afraid of that. But like I don't sit around and fear. Great, that's not a word. You know what I mean? So it's hard to pick something. There's a billion things that could happen that are scary. That my fear might be like, hey, watch out for that. But like sitting here in my apartment on a Sunday evening, how would I even, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's always a weird question. Always a weird question. Alice says, how do I get over not being understood by people? I just want to be myself, but accepted too. It's hard to find people like me. I think, Alice, and I get it, especially when you kind of see the world different. I think at first you have to get over like wanting to be accepted by people. Like you can't do in the beginning, just my opinion, but I don't think you can do both. I think you have to be, I'm just going to be myself. And if people get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. You have to get to the place where you don't care about people's acceptance. And then you will find people, I think, who accept you. But if you're, towing that line of I want to be me, but I want to be accepted, you're never going to fully be you. And it's when you fully become you that people who are just like that will gravitate towards you because like it's genuine, it's authentic. But when you're kind of in that middle, oh, I'm gonna do a little bit to be accepted, but I'm gonna do a little bit to be here, you'll find that the people you're trying to be accepted by, their sense in some's off, so they won't fully accept you. And then the other people out there who are like you, they won't fully accept you because they're like, but she doing this other stuff too. So I think it starts, my advice would be just go full hog on being you. And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And you just have to, if you do it enough, you start to get more comfortable with people not accepting it. And you start to reap the benefits from it because there are a lot of benefits in life from being uniquely you. And as you start to reap those benefits, you're like, oh, this is worth it. Yeah, they may not understand me, but my life's better. And then once you just go all the way in on just being you, I feel like that's when people who are like you will be like, oh, snap, there's another one like me, and come find you. But I think you can't toe the line or it will never work. It'll never work. Lawrence, one day I might do panels. Like I do want to start soon doing like interviews and having other people be on the show. The call-in show one day, but that's still a while in the distance just because there's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot that goes into that logistics-wise. But I definitely do want to start having like friends and other people who have a great message that I think people would want to hear. Start having them on the show. Yeah. Yeah, I guess for some people the issue might be you don't want to lose what you worked so hard to acquire, but like once again, you don't have to get rid of anything. If you have something and you're like, no, I just worked too hard for this, I want to keep it, cool. But I know for me, it was just like working hard and acquiring it was still there. Like just because I sold it doesn't mean I don't have the memory of working hard and getting it. I worked very hard. Like for me, I had that huge comic book collection. I worked very hard to buy all those comic books. I was doing lawn maintenance in hot Florida sun. The comic books are gone, but I still have the memory. I know how hard I worked. I know I earned that stuff. Like so, like you start to learn that like just holding something in your hand doesn't make it real. The fact that it happened makes it real. So I can get rid of this. I can get rid of the actual possession. I still got the memory. I still got the, the doing. I just don't have to like hold on to it. I'm way behind on these comments. I'm gonna get caught up, folks. Sorry if I miss somebody's comments. Tuco, I don't know. I don't know what to be investing in right now. I do my little stuff, but I would never. It's so volatile right now. I'm the cryptos are way down, so I actually bought some cryptos earlier today, but I would never recommend that because I do think it's important to know about cryptocurrency. Um, and I'm telling all my friends buy it while it's cheap, but I'm not a financial advisor. Carol, yeah, I think there's been times when I had to replace stuff I gave away. Not a lot, but I think there has been some times where I was like, oh, I'm gonna, I need, like, I might have needed something. Like, for instance, I'm pretty sure I gave away or threw away a printer before, and then like recently I needed a printer, so I had to go buy one. But I would much rather spend $40, $50 and buy a new printer as opposed to lugging a printer around for the past 5 years. You know what I mean? When I move here, I'm probably going to get rid of that printer, and then 2 years from now, I might need another one. So like, it doesn't like. I'm getting better too at like losing money. I'm getting better now at just like I stopped thinking about the money about it. You know what I mean? Because that's really what it is. I better hold on to this because I might need it. I don't want to spend no. I don't care about the money. Like, and that's not from because you got the money to. No, like I can lose money sometimes. I don't have the money to lose. I just don't worry. Like it's just the universe is abundant. That goes back to the abundance mindset. Like I don't get, if I get rid of this and I have to buy it again and spend another $100, I'll just spend $100. Like it's not about the money. It's not about the possession. It's about what I need to get done. I needed to have a printer to print some documents to do X, Y, Z. I got that done. I'm happy. I'm not worried about the money. Blessed to have the money to buy it. So that's one thing I'm really starting to tap into is like, if you lose money, you just chalk it up to the game, move on. Like, as long as you're still paying your bills. Alex, I don't know if I'd ever want to be a total expat, but I definitely, now that a lot of the travel restrictions are easing up, I want to start traveling out the country more. But I don't know if I would live out the country. Yeah, Daniel. Only afraid in the moment. Like, why get afraid ahead of time? I'm getting to the point where like death don't even beautiful place to be, but like I'm getting to the point where like death don't even scare. Like, what's there be scared of? I mean, like, just for it, like, what's there to be scared of? One moment you're alive, the next you're dead. Now, I'm not excited about like if it's painful. I die in a car crash or something like that. I'm not excited about that, but I'm not going to worry about that in advance. I just move on to my next existence. That took a lot of listening to stuff and reading stuff to get there though. I feel like that's not something that can that's not something you could just jump into. That was that took some time. Survivorship, I'm all about saving up living expenses all the time. Yeah, I've always said save. Sherry, hey, yeah. Thank you for saying about the videos. Yeah, this I'll tell you, the abundance mindset is a game changer. There's a few things that like I really feel like can change the whole trajectory of your life, and it's not the stuff most people think. You know, for me, it's like abundance mindset, it's gratitude, it's generosity. You know what I mean? Those are the things that are like life changing. Yeah, financial stuff is cool, but like having an abundance mindset, I think affects your finances. It affects your friendships. Like it affects everything. And we spend all our time, trying to make money. Which there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with trying to make money, but like I think we sometimes get too wrapped up in the wrong stuff. This abundance mindset, hey, it's free and it can change the whole game. Matt, I definitely think societal pressure makes people make decisions they shouldn't, or decisions that aren't beneficial to them. I don't want to judge other people's decisions, so I'll say decisions that may not have been beneficial to them. Yeah, totally. That's most people. 99% of most people's decisions on a daily basis are dictated by society. People don't make decisions based on what they want to do. You really think we would be going to work and working 9 to 5s and debt and bills and all this craziness if we all made the decisions we wanted to make? Very few of us would be living the lives we live if it wasn't for societal pressures. Colin says, "Hey Tim, how do you with worrying?" I think there's a word missing in there. I think there's a word missing in there, Colin. Lawrence, now I don't do drawing or painting. I dabble in a little writing, but like this is my creative outlet right here. I don't really do much. Yeah, I don't draw or I'm not. I have to do a creative outlet that takes very little skill, right? I just sit here and talk. You know what I mean? I just make little videos. Drawing or painting, that stuff, that's a little too much skill for me. Singing or I just talk. I do something everybody can do. Thinking aloud, I'm going to start working on the book when it feels like the right time. So I really don't know. Anyone who knows me knows I'm big on I do it when it feels right. So because it's yeah, I'm sure if I do a decent job of it, I could sell some. So that'd be cool. But it's not a money play. If I'm gonna write a book, it's gonna be okay. This is something I want to be in book form, to be read. That's part of the reason. Part of the reason it's hard for me to write a book. And this will sound crazy coming from someone who spends like an inordinate amount of time talking on the internet, but there's really nothing to say. Okay? There's really nothing to say. But like this, it's motivational, inspirational, on some levels, entertainment, I hope. So this is cool. But a book is like real. And I was like, if I'm going to write a book, I want it to like really mean something. I want to really say something. And I'm like, there's nothing to say. But I have to realize maybe I could write it in a perspective that it's something, that's already been said and everybody knows, but maybe somebody will get something out of it reading it the way I wrote it, So survivorship, that's the $1 million question. Where to put your savings? I feel like banks might be one. It depends on the risk you want to take. Do you want to have it in the bank and maybe something happened with the banks? Do you want to have it in your house and someone break in? Like, you know what I mean? Like you want it's just there's no 100% safe answer. There's always risk. You can always lose, which goes back to what we're talking about just not being attached. Yeah, it sucks if you lose money, but like there's no way to guarantee you don't. That's why even like investing, some of us got to lose money for other people to make it. If you're going to invest in something and make money, that means somebody else lost some money. So like sometimes the bear gets you, sometimes you get the bear. You know what I mean? Sometimes you make money, sometimes you lose. So have I experienced any synchronicities lately? I don't know if I know what that means, Matt. Can you break that down like in can you idiot proof that for me? What does that mean? Kiera, I don't gamble now. Like every now and then, like one of the things I like to do at work is like if I got some good friends at work, I might stop at a gas station in the morning and like grab a coffee and I might get a $5 scratch off for everybody, something like that. But as far as like gambling to actually like, really win, no, I don't. It's just not like I don't. If I need the money, I'll figure out a way to make it. You know what I mean? It's just not as fun to me. That's why I'm like I don't play the lottery. Like I don't want to win. Like if it's destined for me to make $10 million, I want the joy of earning $10 million. I don't want you to hand me $10 million because I picked the right ticket. Like that's not even fun. You know what I mean? Like you can't not even flex, but like where's the you can't stunt with that. You just picked a ticket, bro. Like that ain't even you know what I mean? It's the thrill. I like the journey. If I'm gonna come up financially, I want to have made some moves. I want to put in some work. You know what I mean? I wanted to be down in the trenches. I want there to be a blueprint. That's the thing too. Like I like to have a blueprint. If I come up, and do a $10 million business, I want to be able to like, hey, this is how I did it. Here's the blueprint. Some of y'all can follow it, do the same thing. Maybe not to the same extent as me. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But you know what I mean? Like that's what means something to me. Not just like getting money. That's what like gambling. Like gambling just for a little fun here or there, scratch off, or you might go to a casino and sometimes we'd have like work dinners. And in Montana, there's casinos everywhere. So we might, have like a work dinner and we go to a casino. Yeah, I might spend 20 bucks and in a machine. Just to like really I'm there just to like hang out with my friends and just like laugh at each other when we lose our money. The idea of actually like winning anything is if I win something, I'll probably just put it back in the machine. Like you know what I mean? Like it just to me it just doesn't do anything for me. Oh, unusual coincidences or events or patterns that happen frequently. Oh no, I haven't seen any of those. No, not really. Lorenzo, that's a big 10-4 no. Most of the seasonal jobs didn't provide a landline. No, definitely not in the. Well, some of them did. Actually, some of them did have phones, but like, who you gonna call? Like, I don't think they had long distance. Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call on a landline? Like, everybody's a cell phone. Um, and the ones that didn't have service, yeah, like you. Well, that's the thing too. If there's no service, who you gonna call? Like, you could call enter a room sometimes. Yeah, like if you were staying in some housing that used to be like all hotel rooms or something, yeah, they would. Some of them still had the phones in there, and you could call like the office or another room. But like outside of that, who you gonna call? Everybody's got cell phones, so they ain't got no signal either. And I don't think they had long distance, so you could call somebody like locally if there was a phone, but other than that, you was kind of yeah. For dinner tonight, I'm having salad. Yeah, I already got it. Good to see you too, Derek. Thank you. Especially yeah, when the gambling thing, when you realize like you do know with like electronic like slot machines, they program in there how often you can win. They program in like a 98% house wins rate. Even the non-electronic ones, they can go in there, I think, and program it. So it's like, yeah, the house is always going to win out because it's programmed in, like it's a computer. It says out of every 100 spins, 1.5 people will win. And it can even program how much it wants them to win. For every $1,000 this machine makes, it'll pay out 50. Like it's, but and people even knowing that will still be like, oh, I might get to 50 though. I just like, why, you know what I mean? Like, why not just, I don't know. Like, why not just, if you want the money, if you're doing it for funsies, cool. But like some people are just hardcore gamblers, and respect. Everybody's got their hobbies, but I'm always like, just like, why not put that money towards something that could make you money, like guaranteed, as opposed to like luck of the draw. Here's a good one. Silver said, "Tim, what are you currently missing in your life?" Sometimes I feel like I don't want to say there's anything missing because I feel like that's like a lack. And the universe is abundant. So sometimes I think I could benefit with a little more responsibility, maybe. Like I won't even say like sometimes I think if I had a little more responsibility, there could be some things I could learn. Like there's some things I haven't learned because I never have like responsibility. Like there's like people with kids know stuff I don't know. People who've been in relationships long term know stuff I don't know, or they got an angle on it, or they know more in depth about it than me. So sometimes I'm like, yeah, for some things I need to learn, there other things would have to come into my life. But I don't view that as like missing. You know what I mean? That implies it needs to be in my life. I just see it as it'd be a different learning experience, Colin, I don't know if you ever lose attachment to health or freedom. Like, I don't think you have to lose attachment to everything. Like, I think health is something you probably, I think you can get to a place where you can accept, okay, sometimes I might not have total freedom. Sometimes I might be in bad health, but I don't think you have to lose attachment to it. Like I don't think those are negative things. It's like you don't have to lose attachment to love. Now, if you're in a toxic relationship, maybe you lose attachment to that person. But like, you don't have to lose attachment to love. Like, I don't think you have to lose attachment to freedom or health. Like, health is positive. You should want to be healthy. You know what I mean? Something I can improve on. There's a lot of things I want to like grow on. I don't think the day will ever come when I don't have some things that I'm like I'm fine, but I'd like to grow on that. So ladies first checking in, Lou. Ooh, Jade said go during the week. You got a higher chance of winning during the week at the casino. Okay. Shalette said you're one cool dude. Thank you. Yeah, I'm missing a Karen in my life. That's what I need. I need a good Karen. Need a good Karen. Get a Karen pregnant. I'll learn something. That's some stuff I don't want to learn. There's, you know what I mean? Like, I know there's some things that, like, people with kids will know that I'll never fully, understand or get. I'll let them have that. I'll let them have that. I'm not trying to learn those qualities my ideal partner has to have. Like honesty, loyalty. Those, I mean, you gotta be a trustworthy person. You gotta be an honest person. I'm the first lie, I'm done. Like legit. Like it ain't, not even no. The first lie, I'm out. Like nah. The first, nah, nope. That's what I'm telling you. I'm single because like I got standards that I'm not gonna waver on. Just like I wouldn't want her to waver on her standards to be with me. Like if she sees a chink in the armor and she's like, I'm out, a kink, excuse me, in the armor, and she's like, nah. She sees a red flag. I don't care how small. If she's like, I'm out, Tim, cool, I respect that. So it's just like, nah, you gotta be honest. If someone's like, everybody lies, no, we're not dating. Nope. No, we're not, not we're not dating. If that's your philosophy, now I will say if after years of being around you, out of some reason, whatever, you slip up and tell a little lie, oh, that's different. But like people who just regularly lie, nah, I'm done. No. So honesty is a big one for me. Loyalty, generosity, like all this stuff. They have to have an abundance mindset. They got to be spiritual. Like I just can't rock with somebody who doesn't. We got to be on the same wavelength, or like it won't work. Trying to rock her. Glad you give you a laugh. Would I date a woman with at least one older child? If the child is like grown, that's a little different. Possibly. If the child's still at home, I'm really not currently just not nothing against it. Respect to a person for raising their child, but like I just know that I won't be number one in that person's life in that scenario. And it's gonna be it's gonna be an issue there if she's number one in my life and I'm like number two in hers. And there was a time when I was like, yeah, I'm cool with that. I just have changed my mind on that. I'm just like, and like that's a big thing to say because I know some really awesome women who have like kids they're still raising. And I know like when they hear me say that, they're like, well, I ain't giving him no, you know what I mean? Like I ain't giving him a chance. So I know I'm like, it's not like I'm narrowing the field with imaginary women. Like I know there's women I know and we're talking, we're like that I know I'm closing the door on, which isn't always easy to do, but some of them are amazing. But it's just like I just know, to me, I just think there would always be that issue. You know what I mean? Like I just want someone in my life that like when I call them and I need to talk with them or be with them, nothing's gonna pull them more. You know what I mean? Like I'm number one because they're gonna be number one with me, and I think that's fair. But an older grown kid, maybe. Oh, I don't care. Like I love a woman with tattoos. Oh yeah, I love tattoos. Oh yeah, ooh yeah, tattoos are. No, you don't have to have tattoos, but yeah, I like tattoos. Yeah, y'all know me. I'm very free going. Like I'm not picky. Like looks wise, if she fine, she fine. You know what I mean? I'm the more unique and different, the better. Like I don't. There's very little I'm like she can't. With me, it's more like personality and certain traits and things like that. Looks is just like if she fine, she fine. Like if I find her attractive, I find her attractive. I don't really have like rules. You know what I mean? She fine, she fine. My favorite big cat. I don't know what that means. Like animal. I don't really have a you know. I don't do favorites, but I've never thought about which. Do I like tigers or lions better? Appreciate you saying that, Jay. To tell me you'd be a good dad. I would try if I was so inclined. To have kids, I would try my best, but it's not something I'm inclined to want to try. Yeah. Yeah, I have some tattoos, animations. Yeah. William checking in. Oh, thank you. Yeah, had to get a nice little shirt. Every now and then you got to throw a nice shirt on. Throw a little shirt on, clean it up a little bit. I need a haircut. I might cut my hair, get a haircut this week. Weston, yeah. I do want to and it's another one of those things like it's on the agenda. I just bad about getting around to stuff sometimes. Like I just don't be like I mean, yeah, I want to do that, and then 6 months later I do it. Like I just don't be. I'm not in a rush, and like I think when you're not like money hungry. So yeah, I got some ideas like the Stay Abundant shirts I want to do. That's the next one I really want to do is a line of like Stay Abundant shirts, but just haven't got around to it. Yeah, Antonella. That's another thing. Yeah, people with younger kids, you're not just dealing with them and the kid, you're dealing with baby mama, baby daddies, like teachers. It's a lot going on. It's just like yeah, in my 40s, I just don't want none of that. Like, I just, by the way, good to see you, Anthony. I just don't want, respect. I'm sure there's some stuff in my life. Some women might be like, hey, Tim's cool, but he's doing this on the road, nomad, whatever. That's too weird for me. I can't, respect, respect. Yeah, Scott, and what you got? You start to raise your frequency, you want the same, frequency. And I, this goes back to an abundance mindset. Like, I know it's possible. Like, you know what I mean? I think, and I used to not think this way. I used to be one of those people who was really like, oh, what do I need to change about myself to attract women? That's who I was. That's the type of time I was on. What do I need to change about myself to like attract women? And then like, as I'm, going along on my path and my journey and growing, I'm like, nah, like I'm just gonna be me. And if the universe is abundant, if it wants to send me exactly what I'm looking for, it will. If it doesn't, I'm cool too. And getting to that place where it's just like I'm cool either way, and I really don't spend a ton of time thinking about dating was like a breakthrough. What's up, Ben? Hey, Weston. Yeah, appreciate you saying that. Yeah, when I drop some merch, I'll let y'all know. Definitely. Thank you. I'm not saying I'd have to date someone who was a nomad. No, never said that. Um, but like she'd have to understand I'm going to be a nomad. Just like you know what I mean? Like if she was just like, well, if you want to be out in the streets, traveling, whatever, cool. I'm gonna be at the house. I'm fine with that. I'd have to respect that's how she wants to live. You know what I mean? So no, you're not doing nomad. We just have to, just each appreciate we're a little different. Actually, it'd be cool because I honestly don't know. Like, just being real, I don't know if I'd want to travel long term with a partner. Like, I do want to do some traveling with a partner, but like, there's still gonna be some trips I just want to go on by myself. You know what I mean? So I would kind of like it if she was, you know, more of a homebody. And she was like, you going there by yourself. I'd be like, cool, cool. Or she might be like, hey, I'm gonna go somewhere, but I'm going alone. I'd be like, cool. Sherry, you asked what I do a podcast on abundant mindset. I'm noticing like me and the podcast never really like work out. So that might be a sign it's not for me to do. You know, it might be the sign it's not for me to do. I'm really starting to get that vibe. The podcast might not be a lane I'm going to venture down. Yeah, Tommy, I'm a bit of a hermit. Yeah. I like being alone. Yeah, bit of a hermit. I like that odd duck, good egg. Becoming the person you would be willing to align with. I like that. I like that, and that's what they always say. Um, you know, uh, 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 if you don't have anybody, just work on yourself and become a person that you're become the person that you want to present to the world to a potential mate. While I don't have anybody, I want to work on becoming that person that like when the woman I want sees me, I'm where I need to be. You know what I mean? I appreciate Stoic philosophy, Colin. I don't know if I'd call myself a Stoic. I'm a little bit of a Stoic. These days, I haven't been as much into Stoicism. Like it's still in me, but I don't read a lot of Stoic stuff like I used to. But I still appreciate Stoic philosophy. Team solo travel. So naughty. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, but yoga bliss dance, you know me. I don't never do what most do. That's why I was doing it daily because nobody else was doing it daily. Um, and it wasn't the issue wasn't that it was daily. The issue was that like I just think it was so different. A lot of them were so different than my other content, which is what I wanted to do. It didn't resonate with a lot of people. But you'll notice whenever people give me recommendations and say that's what everybody else does, I almost never do it. Right? The best successes I've had in this content creation game was when I did something other people weren't doing. Like, sometimes I'll see something and I'll, emulate. Like Lynette Atkins is one of my gurus. I routinely post that on her page because some of the stuff she does, I'm like, oh, I like that, and I incorporate it. But like, I try not to look at what everybody else is doing and do that. I try to look at something that okay, that might be a trend, that might be something. How can I put my own unique spin on it? Because like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I don't get excited about doing what everybody else does. I get excited about doing something similar and putting my own spin on it, or doing something that just popped to my head. I'm like, nobody else is doing a daily thing, and I might bring it back. Like I said, I'm trying to hit 100,000. So any subscribers I lose takes away from that. So I'm like, after I hit 100,000, I might bring the daily word back. I won't care then. I'll have the plaque. Once I get my plaque, I might bring it back. Yeah, because I don't get excited about doing what other people do. You know me. Captain Crazy said, "What about when you work on yourself too much, and then they say you're too good for them? That's a failure too." I don't think you can work on yourself too much, um, and I don't like it. May be a failure in the sense that the relationship ends, but you're still winning in the sense that you've worked on yourself. So if I grow as a person and I outgrow somebody, I don't see that as a failure. Yeah, it might hurt because the relationship ends, but like I still won. And then like that growth might allow me to meet somebody else who's on the same level. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I think we got to get over this idea that like every relationship has to be forever. Sometimes a person's in your life for a certain amount of time and then you move on. It's not always gonna be happily ever after. If I won, I get asked this a lot too. If I won the lottery and didn't have to work, how would your life change? Not much really. I don't like have a 9 to 5 now. So not, I would, it would be more of the same. Like literally, like I would, I've always said the same thing. I might have a more expensive car. I might get a Sprinter van or something. I probably buy me some land. And maybe put a little Home Depot shed or something on it. When I travel, occasionally I might fly first class, but like I would do the same stuff I'm doing now. It just might be, I definitely would donate more to charity and things like that, try to help others more. But my life wouldn't change. I would be doing exactly like I'm doing what I love to do now. Blessed to be able to say that. But like there's not, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing there's nothing really that I'm like, I'm not doing that because I don't have the money. Because I'm a big believer in finding ways to do what you want to do for less money if you don't have the money. So yeah, my life really wouldn't change. Like literally, like I think that's part of the reason I'm not super like, if I have enough money to be comfortable and have everything I need, and for a little fun stuff, and to be able to like travel, like I'm good. Like I think that's why I don't care about the lottery, because it's not like it. You know what I mean? Like I just don't sit around like, man, if I could just get money. It's like, nah, figure out how to do it without the money. That's how I think about stuff. That's why I was like, I'm gonna travel. I don't have no money. Figure out a way to travel without money. Like I'm not gonna sit around and be like, man, I just gotta keep playing them numbers. Like I just, you know what I mean? Like I'm tapped into universal power. I'm tapped into universal power. You know what I mean? Um, I just can't. I can't sit around and wait for the Colorado lottery to bless me. Oh yeah, Lawrence. I've met some people that were maybe more attached to me than I wanted them to be. I think we all have. But I'm good at kind of once I see that, exit stage right. And there's some people that maybe Got a little offended when I kind of separated, but I mean, there's been times I feel like too attached to people or too attached in the wrong way, and they separated. And maybe I wanted something they didn't want. It happens always. Sometimes we're on the receiving end, sometimes we're the attached to them. So it happens. Hakeem, yeah, I'm a little into crypto. Like I said, I bought some crypto today because they're dirt cheap bargain basement prices. So yeah, I dabble in the crypto a little bit, but now it's really just like hold. Last year I was buying and selling and all. Now I'm just buying and holding. Ooh, I like that survivorship. How you gain money is how you lose it. That's deep. That's deep. Rico, I can live in one place. I just don't want to. Like it's just not me. Um, Asking a nomad why they can't live in one place is like asking someone who lives in one place why they don't travel all the time. And they'd probably be like, because I like my house and I like staying here. Nomad's gonna say because I like traveling. Like it's not the ideal that's a question is what bothers me. The fact that people think that's abnormal is what's kind of weird to me. Obviously, because I'm a nomad, it's normal. But the fact that if you don't just want to stay in one, like why? I'm gonna just find one place to stay there forever, the rest of my life. Like the next 40, 50 years, I'm staying in Detroit. Like yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like I just don't get it. Like why? Like there's a huge world out here. There's so many, bro. I got how many countries are in the world? Like so there's 50 states. Let's start there. There's 50 states. Why would I want to just stay in one? Like and just do the same thing every single day. Like, but that's just the way I see the world. That's the way I see the world. Simmons, I transitioned into this mindset definitely within the last 5 years. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is relatively new, um, and I feel blessed every day to like have found it, to discover it. Because it's life changing. Like so, I talk about so much. It's literally life changing. I'm not trying to like. I don't talk about it to sell nothing. I don't have a book called The Abundance Mindset. You know what I mean? I don't have a course about how to live an abundant lifestyle that I'm selling for 19.95. No disrespect to someone who does. Get your coins, boo boo. But like, it's just truth. You know what I mean? Like it's truth. Let's talk about it. It's worked for me. Have not been offered any speaking opportunities, Hakeem. Haven't really been putting myself out there like that. So it'd be interesting one day to pursue that course. I feel like it'd be some years in the future. I don't, I don't know. It's like a dream, but also like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have dreams, you're like, that'd be cool, but if it doesn't happen, it's kind of where it's kind of where I'm with that. Like, I would not like go to my grave being like, I never did the TED talk. If I got to do one, that'd be cool. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not. It doesn't have to happen because it'd be a lot of work. So I'm just, you know me. I'm very just like, y'all know me. I'm hang on 2 seconds, folks. Just looking at something here. All right, cool. We back. Oh, wait, hold on. Chat's going too fast. Oh, do I have a limited amount of time? I like to stay in one location. No, I just kind of go with the flow with it. You know what I mean? It's yeah, not really. Like I said, now I got my home base here, so I know I'm gonna be here a year. But next place I go, I might rent month to month and stay 2 months, and then be like I'm ready to go. I love the fact that there's not like I don't like rules. You know what I mean? So for me, I love the freedom of just kind of deciding how I want to do it as I do it. You know, that's a good point too, Miguel. The irony is that the more you travel, the greater possibility you have to find home. You know what I mean? Like if there is somewhere that I stumble across and I'm like, ooh, I don't want to stay here. You know, like Bozeman was like that. Not like it was home, but like I was like, hey, I want to stay here a little bit, and COVID helped. But I was like, I like this. I want to stay here. You know what I mean? I would have never known that if I hadn't traveled. You know, so I think for a lot of people, there are places that they would appreciate even more, and it's more in line with who they are and how they want to live their life, but they never find it because they've been in one city their whole life. You know what I mean? Moments of essence. I think the scarcity mindset is like programmed into us. Kids don't have it. Take a kid to you think if you want to see abundance mindset in action, take a kid to the grocery store. They want everything. They want everything, and it is impossible to convince them they can't have it. Mama, they ain't got enough money. They still putting it in the cart. You don't need 8 boxes of Cheerios, put them back on the shelf. They don't get any of that because it's all abundance. If I see it, I want it, I want to do it. It gets programmed into us. As we get older, that some stuff you can't have. This is reality. You got to be realistic. You got to settle. You got to sacrifice all this BS they tell you. It's the programming, man. It's programming. Oh, I got AZ Wells, a book you'd recommend on attaining a more abundance mindset. I got one right here. I keep recommending it. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback. I'm reading it again. I just finished reading it. I'm reading it again. Happy Pocket Full of Money, David Jacandy. Yeah, I finished it and I'm reading it again, which is crazy because I got other books I bought to read, but I'm back to that one. Thank you, Antonella. Yeah, the channel's been growing, man. I'm blessed, you know. If I was a bird, what type of bird would it be? Never thought about it. Never thought about it. Never. Yeah, maybe an eagle. I don't know. Hummingbird. Yeah. I don't know. This thought. Those are the type of questions I ponder. Not anything wrong with them, but like, I'd be pondering other stuff. Zach says, "How do you handle unforeseen issues when you don't have a circle of influence around? You just have to figure it out on your own, Zach. Like which is one of the things I like really appreciate about the nomad life is you got to figure it out on your own, or figure out the way to get some help in a strange land. I actually like that. You know what I mean? Like that's you know what I mean? And it's helped me so much in life being in situations where it was just me, I had to figure it out. One solo travels like that too. You somewhere, something comes up, you don't know nobody. You got to figure it out, pimp. Like, you know what I mean? And once you do it and kind of learn that you can do it, it really gives you a self-esteem boost, and your self-confidence goes up. Your swag gets a lot meaner because you just learn like, oh, I don't need. It's cool when I have other people and I have a circle of influence and things like that. It's cool, but I know if I don't have it, I'm fine too. And that also helps you with your abundance mindset because like a good friend of mine is always saying, she travels full time in an RV, and she's like, every time I've needed help appeared. She's like, it's just, I don't worry about it because I know every time I've needed help, it's almost like magically the help appeared. I blow a tire on the side of the road and I need some help. Someone just happens to pull over. Hey, I know exactly what to do there. I'm the tire guy, the tire girl. You know what I mean? Like it just, so you learn A, you got to figure it out, but also B, like the universe is abundant. And I may see it as like, oh, there's nobody here to help me. You're surrounded by people to help you a lot of times. And it's just a matter of maybe putting that, that uncomfortable step forward and walking in the restaurant and be like, hey, I need some help. Hey, and But like, you have to figure it out, and that has really helped me grow. And also you start to see that like people are genuinely good people, and a lot of times they might not even know you. Wherever you are in the country, the world, people may not know you, and they'll come to your aid just because you're a fellow human. And that's like a beautiful thing to learn. It's like, not only am I, capable of handling my own, no matter where I'm at, there's people around who'll probably help me. And that, so many like wonderful, things come for me. Have come from like living a nomad life, solo travel, that I just never knew until I started living this lifestyle. Lee checking in. Hello. Scott, I started to read The Power of Now. Actually, I started to listen to the audiobook, and then I kept falling asleep, so I have not read it. I have not read it. I mean, if the van life one day, I'm like, ooh, I want to do it. Maybe right now it's not really speaking to me, but in future, maybe one day. I don't know. It's not a definite no. The reason I'm rereading this book so quickly is because the other books I'm reading, I just wasn't feeling them as much as I was feeling this one. And I was like, I want to get back to that place. Like, it took me to such a good place. I was like, I want to get back to the place, that feeling I had when I was reading that. So I started rereading it. Yeah, and the author recommends reading it multiple times. You got that, Nicole? That's crazy, Antonella. Battery died, friend showed up, no jumper cables, someone left some in the grass. Telling you, man, it abundance. I think people in the US will help too. It's been my experience and the experience of a lot of people I know that travel, that people in the US we're all humans. And we might live in a country that there's a lot more fear mongering than in other places, but I would never, I'm never going to travel with that mindset, because then it would come true. If I go around, I'm like, yeah, man, in America, it's hard to find help. That would be the one trip I don't find no help. So I'm always going to have the mindset that like most of the people in the world are good people. They want to help out. Maybe some people are a little cautious just because they don't know you. They're a little cautious, but I think deep down inside, most people are good people. They want to help. And when you have that mindset, I think people will help. I think you know what I mean? When you're putting out good vibes, someone who otherwise might not have put over help, they might drive past, and just the vibe you're putting out of, I know somebody's going to help me, hits them, and they're like, I'm going to go help that guy. I'm going to go help that girl. Same situation, same dark road, the vibe you put out just lets them know, like, we've all met people who's like, you knew from the moment you saw them, that was a good person. You knew from the moment you saw them. We all got friends like that you're just like, I knew first time I met you, good people. So like, I think a lot of that is the energy you put out. So I'm never gonna be like, people in the US ain't gonna help. You know what I mean? Because like then they wouldn't. So I'm like, hey, people everywhere want to help. Abundance. I'll tell you, I'm heavy on this abundance. I refuse to think any other way. Silver Lumberjack. 10-1, does one know they have enough in life? I think not. For me, it's just my answer. I wouldn't ask, do I have enough in life? I would tap into gratitude for what I have. I look at it that way. I would just try to always be grateful for what I have. And I think that in turn will turn into contentment, and you'll have enough. That's what I would look at. Just be grateful for what I got. And I think and if there is something I'm lacking, it'll show up. But like, I wouldn't ask, do I have enough? I say, I'm grateful for what I got. I'm good now. You know what I mean? Sherry, I had a Patreon, but I don't really like. And shout out to the few people, because I did it years ago, and some people actually, became patrons. I don't like the ideal of putting out content that everybody can't appreciate. And maybe because it's the type of channel I have. If I was doing reaction videos or something else, maybe. But if I'm doing a channel where the main focus is like motivation and inspiration and trying to help, it seems kind of slimy to me to be like, oh, I got some really good motivation, but you got to pay for it. What are we doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not, it's not me. You know what I mean? Now, if I write a book or something, yeah, that's kind of different. But like, when it comes to the content creation like this, it just, you know what I mean? That's why, like, I got it set up to do memberships on here. I haven't done it because I just don't like that ideal of being like, oh, I got other stuff, but you have to pay for it. You know what I mean? I don't. It's deeper than that with me. And I'm a big believer that like you put in the work. If there's money meant to come, the money will come. Like you know, like it just. I think a lot of time. I was actually talking about this the other day. It's just that I think, and there's nothing wrong with any of this stuff. But I think sometimes in life we're so quick to try to make the money that we like don't put in the work to earn the money. You know, I just see a lot of people, as soon as they start a channel, they immediately want to do a Patreon. You ain't even got 10 videos on your channel for free. What is people going to sign up to your Patreon for? I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying this is the way I look at it. This is just Timothy J. Ward's thoughts. I think sometimes we're in such a hurry to make the money that we don't put in the work to like grow a community, get good content out there. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? So that's me. I just don't. That's why I stopped promoting the Patreon because I'm like, I don't, you know what I mean? I never posted to it because I'm like, every video I got, I put on here, you know? So, yeah, I got a Patreon. I just don't, you know. I love the, hey, Miguel, thank you, Super Chat Squad. And this actually ties in. Appreciate that, Miguel says, speaking of money, let's get to Super Chat trade going, choo-choo. Thank you so much, Miguel. Appreciate the love. And I was about to say, I like the model of like donation. Or I like the model that like people watch videos when the ads play, I get some revenue. If someone wants to give more donation, I like that because there's no, I don't never have to ask anything. Only thing I ever ask for is people hit the thumbs up button. That's it. I don't have to ask for anything. And I like that because like, then I can be me and I don't have to like, when you start selling something, you got to switch some stuff up. You know, even if I decide to do some merch, it'll just be like, hey, this is what I'm selling. You want to buy it, buy it. Like, I don't have to push anything on people. I don't want to have to like push, you know, make sure you do this and make sure you do it. Like, that's just not me. No shade, you know, who does it. It's just not me. I like to just talk. I am gold. Thanks. Yeah. I got a little new shirt. Thank you. And if I wear it in the video as a tax write-off, oh yeah, Zach broke down the mountains before you could comprehend what happened. Somebody pulled up. I'm telling you, like, it's crazy. Who asked this question? At home with Jen. I'm rereading A Happy Pocket Full of Money. Good book. Actually, no, I was gonna put the link, but I'm not gonna do it. Layla and family, glad you liked the "You're Not Crazy, You're Not Alone" video. That was one that really, you know, I wanted to make that video, so it's cool that a lot of people appreciate it. I've never been like directly censored Simmons, but I know there's some topics that they don't really want you to talk about, especially like 2020, 2021. There's a lot of stuff that like you just knew you talk about that, they're probably gonna. And there's been things I talked about that like they demonetized my stream, but like I just asked for a manual review, and they saw that like okay, like some things you mentioned, they'll demonetize the stream, but like if they run it back, if they manually review it, they'll see you weren't talking about it in a certain way. So I've never been censored, but I do censor myself because like if I know there's a topic like. Once again, if YouTube's giving me a platform to like get my message out there and like make money, if they say, hey, don't talk about this, or I hear people say, oh, they don't like you talking about that, I'm not gonna talk about it. You know, I'll just talk about it with my friends in real life, or I just won't talk about it at all. Truth is truth. Truth will get out. It doesn't need me. Oh, you know what I mean? Kathy, hey, how's it going? Tabozu, hey, yeah, man. I know you've been following the channel for a minute, man. And thank you, thank you. Yeah, we getting there. It's good when someone says they're happy for you. So thank you. We getting there, man. We gonna get there. Scott, I totally believe in the law of attraction, and I believe in manifesting. Totally, totally. And here's my views on a lot of like like this, like I you to use your example, people would say starving children can't manifest food, but you don't know if they've tried. Like that sounds very callous, but like we have to think like before you write something off, I can't write something off not being saying someone else can't do it when I've never been them. Right? You're basically saying, I've never been this person, but I'm assuming that they tried manifestation and it didn't work. So I know manifestation doesn't work. I've never been that person. I don't know what they may not even know about manifestation. I would imagine that if you're starving, it's probably not on the top of your list of things to do. So you know what I mean? Like I can't write something off because I've decided that other people who I don't even know have tried it and it didn't work. That's the way I look at it. Like if because people always want to point out examples. Well, obviously manifestation doesn't work because this wouldn't happen. You don't even know if that person so it works for me. That's all I got. All I got is me and my reality. So I'm like, it works for me. And I can't spend my whole life like I can do things to try to help out the starving kids. And I do. You know what I mean? I can do things to try to help out my fellow man, but I can't say I'm not going to use tools that I know work for me. And a lot of wise women and men throughout history have said work because I can look at somebody and it doesn't seem like it worked for them. You mean like I can't live everybody's life? Sobriety works for me. There's a lot of people who say, well, I can get drunk all the time and I function. I'm not going to go back drinking. Oh, Tom can still drink. I guess I can't. I know I can't drink. And the same is true the other side. I know this stuff works for me. I wish it could be used by everybody, and they were, but I can't live my life based on that. Like it just, I have to help in the way I can. But if there's something beneficial to me, I gotta use it for me. Like I can't. I don't know why it doesn't work for Susan. I don't know Susan. I've never been Susan. Maybe Susan ain't manifesting. You know what I mean? So yeah, I know it works for me and the people in my life that I respect the most, it works for them. So that's all I got. You know what I mean? I feel like that was a long-winded answer. But that was a good question. Hey, Moonfall, thank you. Super Chat Squad, Super Chat Train. Thank you, Moonfall. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I like that name too, Moonfall. So yeah, I definitely believe in manifestation, law of attraction. Yeah, totally. Simmons, yes. Some days I struggle to make content. Yes, capital Y, yes. Yes. Yeah, I do. I think all content creators do. I mean, and it's not only that, it's, for example, this is my list of videos to make within the coming weeks. Sometimes you struggle to do a good job of making the content. Some days you don't have anything to make. Other days you have ideas, but you just don't. And I think having a channel like mine makes it a little harder. But just some days you're not there, no matter what content you're making. Some days you ain't got it. And some days you just can't think of anything that seems good, It's part of the game. Kayla, thank you. Super Chat Squad, Super Chat Train. Thank you, Kayla. True. Thank you, Kayla. Said just sending some support. Your videos keep me inspired and motivated. Awesome. That's what we're trying to do. Mission accomplished, Kayla. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Love. Manny, hey. Only channel you follow. Hey, that's high praise. That's high praise. And glad the videos and the content could help you with the drink. That's another topic I need to do more videos on. But yeah, we got a lot up there now. That's awesome. Tell your wife said hi. Let's see. Did that come out wrong? Sorry if that came out wrong. You mentioned your wife. When people mention people, I'll say, tell them I said hi. Did that? I hope that didn't come out wrong. But tell your wife said hi. That did not mean it like that, old man. I did not mean it like that. I would say, hey, tell you. Sometimes I'll say something. I'm like, hi. Yeah, I was just saying, what's up? Zach, hey, you working from home now? You ain't got the relationship. Sorry to hear about that, by the way. Um, Switch it up, do something different. Do something different. Go for it. To Bozu, I don't think I've written a script for a video ever. Every now and then, if I do like a list, I'll have the list written out. I don't think I've ever, and I got over with my 3 channels combined. I probably got 1,500 videos on the internet. I don't think I've ever written a script. I just don't. Just for me, um, I think it, and for what I'm trying to do, because I want this to lead. I would love for this to lead to. I would love to get a. I'm gonna get a spot on a radio show one day. So the ideal, like it free flowing. I was telling a friend of mine the other day. Shout out to Blair. She ain't watching this, but shout out to her. She's on my life council. Really good friend. I was telling her the other day that like one of the things I've always done, and I do this to this day if I'm doing a walk and talk. Say it's going to be a 15-minute walk and talk. If I get like 5 minutes in and mess up, I start all the way over. I'll literally turn around, walk back to where I started, start the whole thing over. Like I've done that from the beginning. And so that kind of helps. I think that helps with your flow. Whereas a lot of people, when they read from a script, you see a lot of this. There's a, and then that always annoys me. Shout out to anybody who does that. No shade. But when someone was like, yeah, and then today we're going to talk about blah, 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 blah. Now you do have to understand that the thing is blah, blah, blah. Then you see a jump, edit, plunk, it's just like, I think it comes off better when it just flows freely. And when you discipline yourself to, like, if I mess up, I got to start over. You really start to, with some videos, I've 10 takes. I'll go to edit, I'll go to, upload. There's like 10 takes. But yeah, I don't ever do scripts. I just don't. Now, when you do a script, do you make sure that you get everything in there? And yes. So yeah, there's sometimes I'll do a video. I'm like, dang, I forgot to put that in there and have to start over. But it's just, different people do it different ways. But yeah, I like to free flow. And I think that's helped me to be able to stream for hours on end, is that I'm used to free flow. Yeah. Would I ever make a video on Black nomading and defying stereotypes? Probably not. I did back in the day. I did a video about traveling as a minority, but I don't think I do one again. Just because I don't know if that's my ministry. I really like to make content for everybody, and I really don't. I'll talk about it, but like I don't know if I do a video about it, because I almost don't want to. I almost don't want, like, I almost feel like by making a video like that, I'm separating. I would much rather make videos about nomading, and it's implied in the fact that I didn't say nomading while Black, nomading while a woman, that anyone can nomad. And I like that ideal of just implying by the content that any of us can do it, as opposed to like making separate. And some people, that's their ministry, that's their passion. I get it. So I'm not knocking it. But just for me, I like it across the board. Everybody can do it. Appreciate that. A lot of people say they turned the notifications on, hit the bell for this channel. Appreciate the love. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Network. I think is it smarter to get an apartment, RV, or live in a car? It's up to you. I don't think it's smarter. I just think it's a decision. You just weigh all the factors, whatever works for you. I don't think there's a right answer or a wrong answer. I see Wayne Wallace living in Mexico, working in San Diego. That's the move. D Jackson, glad you liked the waves video. That was a video. Glad you brought that up. That was a video that I made for like myself. Like I'd used the waves and that song in a video I did about Stoic quotes that nobody really watched. And I just loved, like I found myself like humming that song a lot. And so for myself, I made that little 15-minute video of just the waves and the music, nothing else. And shout out to my roommate. I was talking to him about it last night. I don't know how it came up. And I was like, I don't know if I should upload that to a separate channel or put it on this channel. And he was like, dude, just put it on your channel. He's like, you'll never know if it works until you try it. So I was like, screw it, I'm doing it. And I know it's not going to get like a ton of views, but the feedback from it was so good. I'm like, cool, you know, because that video means the world to me. Like one of the videos I like to make like that. And I mean, I got the music. I didn't make the music. I just got it off Epidemic Sound. But the pairing of the music and the waves, I listened to that a lot. And I was like, if I put it like, but I'd have to like pull it up. And I was like, I can just, you know, I'd be out somewhere and I'd want to hear it on my phone. And I'm like, it's not uploaded to the internet. So I was like, I'm just going to upload that and it's going to do what it's going to do. So I'm glad you liked it, D Jackson. Thank you. Tabozu coming in, Super Chat Squad. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Tabozu Cabal. I don't want to say thank you. I'm always like looking at people's username and trying to decide if it's a man or a woman. Thank you, Tabozu. Appreciate that. Super Chat Squad. It is what it is. It says, I have to ask y'all, I love this lifestyle. Do y'all ever think about retirement? I don't spend a lot of time, me personally, thinking about retirement. I'm just not worried about it. You know, this is me. Like, I'm just not worried about it. I have started thinking more long term. And so in the future, there might, in the coming years, there might be some decisions I make that are more for like the future. But like right now, like I'm, you know, I mean, I'm 42, so like I got a few more years of some hardcore doing some things I really want to do and knock off the bucket list. Things that if I keep this pen in my hand, you'll hear the clicking in the playback. Throw the pen away. So I got a few more years of. I'm basically not going to live my life like denying myself stuff so that I can save for retirement. Might not even make it to retirement. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the retirement income isn't guaranteed. It's going to be, you know, it's just not. I don't. So like, I think about retirement. Well, not like I don't even think about like the word retirement doesn't apply to me. I think about like the day will come when I'm 65. What are you going to do? The goal is to have passive income streams built up to pay the bills. And then like, you know, figure out, you know, if I get to a place I can't take care of myself, hopefully I got, you know, streams built up. I can pay for a home, or I might end up under some bridge somewhere dead. Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? If I get to that age and I can't take care of myself, well, I guess we'll just, you know, shuffle off this mortal coil a little sooner than we expected. I'm just not worried about it. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. There's not this idea of, oh, I better be set up for 70s. Like I'm just not. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. I'm gonna live my life, and I think it'll turn out okay. I just don't worry about it. Like I just don't. You know what I mean? People did it the right way and still ended up struggling, working. You know what I mean? Like so, I don't really worry about it. You can identify something might be a potential issue and not worry about it. That's something we don't think about a lot. It's like, oh, I gotta worry about this because I could be like, yeah, that could be a thing. I'm not worried about it. People die every day. I might get to 65 and be like, this is it. I'm up out of here. Hey, Crystal, what's up? Good to see you. When did I first learn about abundant silver lumberjack? Probably 3-4 years ago, maybe. I'm not sure exactly. Kiara, thank you. Super Chat Squad, Super Chat Train. Thank you, Kiara. Kiara Wallace, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Thank you, the continued support. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Super Chat Squad. People like he's randomly yelling out Super Chat Squad is annoying. So Super Chat Squad. Okay. Kyle D, I am a Scorpio. It means absolutely nothing to me, but people seem to be curious, so I know. Scorpio. Jen, hey, sorry to hear about that. Sorry to hear about your mom. But I mean, thank you for sharing that story because yeah, like retirement's not always guaranteed. Like you might make all the right moves and then not be here, or you make all the right moves and the stock market crash. You know what I mean? Like it's just I don't know. We have these. We worry. You see all these videos. If you haven't saved up $500,000 by 30 for retirement, you're going to be in trouble. Now, keep in mind, 80% of the world doesn't even know what retirement means. Probably more than that. Most of the world, this concept of retiring and having money that you can just spend, foreign. They try to make it day to day. So, like, I'm not going to work myself up over something that most people on this planet have no concept of. It's just not an option for them. I'll be okay. I'm just not worried about it. I just don't. And like I said, the universe is abundant. It can find a way to take care of me when I get 70. It'll, you know what I mean? Like doors will open up. You know, like I'm just not worried about it. I don't be worried. Yeah, Kayla. Yeah, you start to stress about it. It's not healthy. Hey, incognito. I like to think I'll be, you know, a fun old man if I make it that long. Wayne Wallace, W Dubs. Thank you. Sorry, I should have. Sorry. You're like, dude, don't do that to my name. Wayne Wallace. I appreciate that. Thank you. Wayne Wallace, mild mannered reporter at the Daily Planet. I can't. If it sounds like a superhero name, I have to say something. Thank you. Super Chat Squad, Super Chat Trade. Appreciate that, Wade. I have to. The Wallace is coming through. I just noticed that. The Wallace is coming through. Okay. Okay. I grew up in the 90s. I had, okay. The Wallace is coming through. Appreciate the love. Super Chat Trade, Super Chat Squad. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for the support. Thank you. Advice for people thinking about starting a channel? Go for it. Kiara, my advice would be go for it and pick something you're passionate about, something you enjoy talking about, something you can talk about for years. I think sometimes people forget if it's successful, you're going to have to keep talking about it. And then just, you know, enjoy yourself, post consistently. That's my beginnings is just, you know, start with your phone. You don't have to go out and buy $500 cameras and all this stuff. Start small. Find it. It's way more important. The topic is way more important than the equipment. The topic is way more important than the equipment. Take the time to figure out something you want to talk about, you like talking about. What is it you talk about around your friends that they get tired of you talking about? What is that topic when you bring it up, they be like, if you don't shut up about them Beanie Babies. Like, you know, what is it that like you know when you bring it around your spouse, they pretend to care, but after 5 years of dating you, they're like every time I'm trying to talk about work, he wants to talk about these stupid quilts. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that is the type of stuff that I think good channels and channels that have longevity revolve around, as opposed to picking a topic you think will make money. You'll get tired of that. But yeah, pick a topic, start making videos on your phone if you have to, and just, you know, be consistent. I think those would be my main quick takeaways. Hey, Nate's so loyal. Thank you. Super Chat Squad, let's get it. Let's go. Thank you, Nate. Is your last name Wallace? Nate. Nate's so royal. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Super Chat Squad, Super Chat Train. We in here. Oh, we got another one. Rico coming through. Hey. Rico's one of them OGs, been around for a while. So gotta hit the rack, Tim. Tim Lights. Hey, see you later, man. Appreciate the love. Thank you, Rico. Always good to see you. Super Chat Train. Gang. Supposedly, yeah, the universe is abundant, and when you see it, man, it can get you to that point. It's like I can't lose, like, because I think you start to see loss different. You know what I mean? Like when you really start to believe like, oh, the universe is abundant, it can provide whatever I need. You don't really lose nothing. You're just like, oh, this is momentarily out my life. Something else will come into it. That might come back into it. It starts to, you know what I mean? Like it starts to become more about less about the individual possessions and things that happen, and it's just about the journey. It just becomes about being alive and then like you see the amazing stuff that just pops into your life when you're not even thinking about it. And I think that's the part that like you have to experience this to get it. It's like when you start believing in this abundance, all this beautiful stuff will just show up in your life. You're like, oh, this stuff is real. So then yeah, when stuff goes out of your life, it's not a be like you already know. Bro, I had like 3 amazing things come in my life. If one thing goes out of it, maybe it wasn't meant to be here. Okay. I would thought I wanted to hang on to that, but guess I can't, So like, yeah, abundance, it's life changing. That's why I love talking about it. My mindset. Actually, I'm gonna come back to that question. Let me shout out Antonella real quick. Thank you, Antonella. Super Chat Squad, Super Chat Train. Antonella's another OG. Been around the channel for a while. Been around the channel for a while. Appreciate that. So thank you for your time and inspiring us. Tim, we love you. Hey, thank you, and love you too. Like, thanks. I mean, those are some of the most powerful words someone can speak to you, and just because it's online doesn't diminish it. So thank you so much, Antonella. Love you too. I mean that. And you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Super chat train. See, it was getting a little too emotional. I had to super chat. I can't get too emotional. Thank you. Thank you. Zach said, I wanted to answer this for Zach. So what was your mindset and intention when you started your YouTube channel? How did you handle the learning curve? So I started on YouTube 10 plus years ago, Zach. There was like back then, I just thought it was like another social media platform like Facebook. I really thought it was like instead of me posting like pictures, and video on Facebook, on YouTube, you just post video only. So I just thought like I would post videos and like my friends would watch it, just like every other social media platform. This was a new concept of like people who don't even know you following, or definitely to me. And so I didn't really have any intention other than just like putting videos up. And then like I started to understand, okay, this is a little different. I started making comic book videos around the same time. I started doing I went to North Dakota for a little bit, very briefly, worked on the oil rigs, but came back and started doing that type of content. But even then, it was just like, making. I enjoyed making videos. So they're really, because at that time, we didn't really know about like people making like good money on YouTube. When they sent me the thing to be monetized, I almost was like, I ain't doing that. I was like, that's too much work. I was like, all right, do it. And then, yeah, when they switched from paper check to direct deposit, once again, I almost was like, I ain't doing that. You know what I mean? Because we just didn't have this concept of it being like to be a full-time YouTuber in 2010, 2010, 2012, 11, like you just didn't, so, and the learning curve, like there wasn't any stress to the learning curve because it was just, I was just doing it, I still learn to this day. So like, I really don't think like there's stuff to learn, but it just kind of comes, you know what I mean? It just kind of comes as you go. Like the more you post, the more you learn, the better you get. So I think it's a stressful learning curve if you go into it like, as people do now, I'm going to make money. But that's why I say, if you have something you're passionate about, even if you're like, okay, down the line, I want to make this profitable, which is excellent. I think it's one of the best careers out there. I don't even want to say career, one of the best ways to make money out there. But if you love it, you'll enjoy doing it. It won't even seem like you're learning. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you'll enjoy doing it and you'll just want to get better, I'm with you, Incognito. Yeah, I love positivity, people believing. It's all about belief. once you realize that, like, it's all about belief and you can believe yourself into a better life, it's hard. Like, they can't really stop you. You know what I mean? Or you stop stopping yourself. Sully121. Sully121. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, Super Chat Train. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Coming through with the love. Appreciate that, Sully121. Hope I'm saying that right. Or is it Sully? Is it Sully? Sule? 121. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Super Chat Train. Coming through. Yeah, I worked on oil rigs before. Yeah. Worked on oil rigs. Yeah. Only for like a month. It wasn't that long. I didn't do it properly, so I ended up coming back home. We was making good money though. We was making good $2,800 a week after taxes. Let's go. You only need a couple of them checks. I was up. Because there was a mix-up with my checks coming to me because they mail you a check, and in North Dakota, if your name isn't on that residence and you get mail, they'll just send it back. So I stayed at a homeless shelter for like a night when I got there while I was waiting to do my interview and stuff. And they was like, oh, yeah, you can use our address. And they sent it there, and then the post office sent it back. And the company I worked for was in Texas. So my first check, which would have been enough money to give me all the things I needed up there, got sent back to Texas. So I was up there broke. I had borrowed money to buy the car I had. I was supposed to pay my homeboy back. That was kind of an issue. So came back pretty early, but it was still fun. Good experience. Shauna, do it. Considering doing seasonal work, shake your life up. I say go for it. Go for it. You know me. It's always going to be go for it. You got any questions about seasonal work? Always here to answer. Fur Cut just found the channel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the community. Glad to have you. This gives me the courage to go after my dreams. Oh, had an issue with the mushrooms. Okay. Glad you got through that. Universe is abundant. Sorry, I'm not poking fun at your situation. What's it like doing seasonal work? The older portion, Shauna? There's definitely the bigger age groups are, the 20-somethings. But I started in seasonal work when I was 35. I was just at a seasonal job end of last year, 42. It's really, I've never seen any ageism. Seasonal work's a lot of open-minded people. And so like everybody just kind of, gets along, works together. You don't really, there's people of all ages. And so, yeah, obviously, like, not obviously, but like for me, when I hang out with the 25-year-olds, I'll be with the 20-somethings. Like, I don't, but like you can find, if you want, you can find people your age. There might not be as many, but there's usually people all age groups, but most of the time it's, we sit at lunch at the table, it'd be all ages. Like it's just, age really isn't an issue like in seasonal jobs. It's just kind of like people hanging with people, and I like the fact that, I have friends in there. Like one of the people that at my first seasonal job, I was, like I said, I was 35. And there was a guy named Jan, and he was early 60s. And we immediately, just became really good friends. I mentioned him a lot because he's moved on to his next existence now. And it saddened me immensely to find out about it. I found out about it on Facebook, and I still got questions, but me and him were, what was that, almost 30 years separation. And literally day one in like orientation, he said something and I said something, and we started talking, and he was like, hey, you should come to, he had an RV. He's like, hey, you should come hang out my RV one night. And like we were fast friends, you know what I mean? So like the age really, I've never seen any issue with age. It's like everybody just kind of gets along, Look, where am I at? Yeah, Virk, I didn't think about that. Yeah, you gotta be careful now what you say, because they be trying to. Yeah. You know me, Giselle, Mr. Quit Your Job / seasonal work. We out here. Patrick, when it comes to like tattoos and criminal record, it varies from seasonal companies. A lot of them aren't really worried, especially these days. Trying to find, when it's hard to find workers, they're not really worried about the hand tattoos and stuff like that as much. But some of them do have, their views on like criminal records. I say this, and HR departments can like me or not. I know for a fact that most of them aren't going to run your criminal background check unless something comes up. And even if they did, you might already be there a month. It's a seasonal job. You only gonna be there 4 months. So if you get there and after 2 months they run it and they're like, oh, you got to go. You know what I mean? So I always say go for it. Would I put down my criminal past? No. I would just make them have to find it out. Because a lot of them don't run it. Like they don't. It's not, a lot. They might say they will, but they won't. Nicole Love, hey, says, thank you for all you do, Tim. You have truly changed my life. I'll forever be grateful for you. Hey, you're so welcome, Nicole. Thank you for that comment. That's love. Blessed. And you're welcome. Hey, that's amazing. Yeah. Thank you for sharing and blessed. Yeah, if some stuff hits you, it's hard to put into words the feeling. You know what I'm saying? The energy, love. It is what it is. That's a good point too. Yeah. Like people, seasonal work, you're not there a long time, and a lot of times, like a lot of people are just like trying something new, starting over. So like I think there's this bonding because it's a short period of time. It's an adventure. The places like the Grand Canyon, where there was a lot of people who worked there full time. Different vibe. Like the people who were there just coming through for a few months at a time was the minority. There was me and maybe a couple other people. Everybody else worked there full time. Totally different vibe. There's something to the transitory nature of most seasonal jobs that, just the vibe's different because it's like, oh, I'm only here for 4 months. I'm trying to meet people, have fun. This ain't nothing. I'll come in, I'll do my job, but this ain't long term for me. So I don't need to get all worked up about a lot of the stuff happens at other jobs. Like people just, they just having fun. Oh yeah, I'll give you the website for seasonal work. Y'all know me. Let me get that link for you right now. Tell them Tim sent you. One of my favorite links. They are not a sponsor, but they've done a lot. The website changed my life. And they, the people coolworks.com. I put the link down at the bottom. Check them out. A lot of jobs. Let's go right now. Let's see what they got. Hold on. Help wanted now. What are we looking at? Oh yeah. Yep. They got 5 pages of help wanted now jobs, ladies and gentlemen. Line cook. Ooh, that's in Florida. Ocean Reef Club. That's down in Florida. Where's the other one too? Doe Bay Resort. A lot of dishwashers. Nobody want to wash dishes. See, I can't get on Coolworks because I'll start wanting to go to a seasonal job. But yeah, check out coolworks.com. Yeah, Crystal. Yeah, by the time you're tired of it, it's over. Go for it, Patrick. Go for it. Glad you watched the channel. It's awesome. Religiously, I like that. Oil checking in. What up? Oil said the Grand Canyon's hiring big time. I bet. Shauna, I like ski resorts in the wintertime. Colorado has a ton of ski resorts. That's something I could do this winter. Montana, California, ski resorts are the move in the wintertime. A lot of times. Joseph quit the job last July. Nice. Life is good. I'm with you. Yeah, ski resorts are good wintertime spots. And Florida sometimes has a couple places that, some of the southern states, have places that are open in the winter. But yeah, the ski resorts are the game. And every now and then there might be a other little places, ranches or something that have wintertime activities. I know up in Montana they have some ranches that stay open year round because people come to whatever rich people do at a ranch in the wintertime. Um, but the ski resort game is. Oh yeah, I've talked about the Grand Canyon. I've told that story many times. I've never been shy about the Grand Canyon. Like it was working me too much. Working me too much. The vibe was off. There's weird stuff going on in housing. Rangers was showing up. It just wasn't the vibe. It just wasn't. And that's not the whole Grand Canyon. It was just where I was at. The vibe just wasn't for me. Yeah, I talk about a lot. Like that's sometimes I feel bad. I've told the story so much, but that's how bad the vibe was. I'm just like I couldn't do it. Like what I mean, it's just, and I think a big part of it was, it's a lot of, it's like a regular job because most people who work there, they're there year round. Like, and I do think that's cool that they have employee housing. You could work there for 5 years and live in employee housing for the whole 5 years. That's cool if that's what you're looking for. That's a really good start over place for someone who's just like, I need to be somewhere else next month. You can go work at the Grand Canyon and stay there as long as you want. So it's cool. I just like a vibe. I like that in and out, short period of time vibe, and I like interacting with other people like that. It's no coincidence that the people I vibe with the most were people who worked other seasonal jobs, were just coming through. Shout out to my boy Charlie. He just hit me up the other day doing that. He was up there and left. Yeah, Tabozu, the abundance of seasonal. Check out Cool Works right now. Tons of jobs. It's the middle of the season. Tons of jobs. Yeah, I'm working at the Grand Canyon, um, and I don't even have a chance to explore the Grand Canyon. I'm like, why am I doing this for $14 an hour? And I wasn't supervisor or nothing. I was in them rooms. They give me a list with 16 rooms, and then afterwards you got to help people. I'm like, I earned my like I don't mind being a housekeeper, but I'm like, I took the low pay and the housekeeping gig because I wanted to come to the Grand Canyon. And I'm like, if I don't get to see the Grand Canyon, it's not worth it. Like, I could have stayed in Montana and house kept for 20 some dollars an hour. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So just like, what, like, why? It just, it wasn't adding up. Zach, I don't really do favorites. Yeah, so I don't really have favorite states to work in, but Montana's cool, Colorado's cool, Alaska was wonderful. You know, hey Sherry, it's all good. It's all good. It's a thought that counts. People have been saying that like sometimes it's not letting the super chats go through. Maybe YouTube/Google has changed some stuff. It's a thought that counts. I appreciate the thought. Like legitimately, I appreciate anybody willing to donate, even if it doesn't go through. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, like Tabozu, that's the thing. Like they gave me, what was it? I think 9 days straight and didn't even mention it. It might have been. I think it was more than that. It was like 12 or 30. It was more than nine. But they didn't even mention it. You know what I mean? It just was on the schedule, and I'm like, y'all got me working. I think it was 11 or 12 days straight, and it was like, yeah, that's what we got to do. And I'm like, you can't hold a meeting. We already have a morning meeting, so you can't even hold a meeting and be like, hey, this week it's really hard, blah blah blah. Some of y'all are gonna have, like, I was like, I've been a manager before. I know how you do this. Nope. And like the people who've been there for a while, they're like, oh, one day I worked 20 days straight, one week. I'm like, y'all, I'm just not conditioned like that. Y'all, like, no. If I'm working that long, you're gonna like tell me in advance, apologize for making me have to work that long. There's gonna be some perks involved. I never worked none of my team that long, and there would have been Red Bulls and Gatorade and pizza party like every day. Like if we ever, when I was a Big Sky, if we ever had to work people 2 weeks straight, basically, it would have been so many concessions and butt kissing and thank yous, and we would have, they had these things called Boeing bucks which you could use around the resort. We would have been giving those out. Like it would have been a whole ordeal. You would have never seen a manager in the office. Like we would have been up there, well, not never, but like we would have been up there working. Like it just, there's just ways of doing it, and I just didn't feel like they did it right. Yeah, like they were, hey, they're like around here, that's just what we do. I'm like, well, I'm leaving. Like, respect. Like, if they want to work for a company that works you like that, they're like, the overtime's good. I'm like, bruh, I'm making $14 an hour. Yeah, the OT when I was good, was better. But I'm like, if I was trying to, like, I can go other places and make more money and work this much if I wanted to. Sean, I've definitely left job sites early. Many of them. Yeah, many of them. Yeah, man. I don't do. You're not killing me. It's not worth it. You're not killing me. You're not killing me. I go somewhere else. Hey, Carol. Thank you, Carol. Super Chat Squad says, Tim, thank you for generously imparting your invaluable insight. Every time I listen to you, the thought pops into my head that I wish I'd heard you many years ago. Keep the insight coming. Sending you much love. Thank you, Carol. Thank you. I'm accepting the love. Accepting the love. Sending it back to you. You know that. Carol's another OG. Been around for a while. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you so much. And the kind words. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you, Carol. Super Chat Squad. I love the fact that Carol's smiling in her thumbnail picture, not thumbnail, whatever it's called, profile picture. Yes, yes, it's always good to see a smile profile picture. You know, does something for the mood. Thank you, Super Chat Squad. Yeah, Oi, like I said, yeah, I was up. I couldn't enjoy my time. Like I literally maybe like I could go at night and kind of walk around the rim, but like I never got to like hike down into the canyon. Like even like the couple times I had days off, I was so tired. Like I'm just like this is not, this is the total opposite of what I want to do. You know, I want to be hiking the Grand Canyon. I want to be, exploring the trails, like not in these cabins, like in these I don't know. Shout out to them. There were some one of my supervisors up there, Mike, super nice guy. That was probably my biggest thing. I really liked working with him. You know, he's a good guy. He always took care of me. Always looked out for me. And I kind of like I didn't even say bye to him because I was kind of like, I went to. He wasn't there when I went in to say I was leaving, but I kind of, yeah, I wouldn't have mind worked with him longer because he was a really cool guy. So shout out to Mike, man, cool guy. But the situation just wasn't optimal, man. Like could I walk to different trailheads reasonably from the resorts you've been? Um, Kind of depends on different resorts. The trailheads are different, Like when you're in a national park, yeah, there's always trails you can walk to. Yeah, when I was in Glacier, like that was my jam. Like every night after dinner, I'd not go deep down this one trail, but I'd eat dinner and then I'd walk up this one trail a little bit. I did the whole trail one time. It was like 14 miles round trip. But yeah, like in the national parks, yeah, there's pretty much always a walking distance trail or something. Even if it's not a long trail, there's usually always something in the national parks. Yeah. And even when I was at the Y or at Big Sky, yeah, like when you're in the mountains, there's usually always a close trail. Yeah, yeah. I work for Delaware North. Boy, Shauna, there is seasonal work in other countries, and there are some websites that have listings for seasonal jobs in other countries. There's some in Canada on Coolworks, or there used to be, but there's different things involved in working seasonally in another country, like work visas and all that stuff. So I don't really know anything about it, but there is some. I got a friend who worked in like Germany for a season or something like that. Definitely, yeah, out there available. I wonder if you. Let me see something. Hold on, I'm googling something. Hold on, let's see. Goabroad.com. Yeah, goabroad.com shows you seasonal jobs in other countries. Yeah, it's there. Just got to Google it. Actually, I was using Bing because I'm on my Microsoft Edge browser, so I was using Bing, not Google. I like Google better. I apologize, Google, YouTube, for using Bing, but I'm on Microsoft Edge. Boy, I had a job lined up actually this summer for Denali, but I couldn't commit to the 4 months. And that was one of those places like she's like, if you come, I need you all summer. So just outside of Denali, I was gonna go. But yeah, I do want to work at Denali one of these times. I'd love to go to Peru. Just a matter of doing it. There's so many countries. Lorenzo, hey, Super Chat Squad. Thank you. Said your content subtracted layers of stress for me. Nice. I like that. That visual, just the stress dropping off. Hey, blessed. Blessed to be able to help with that, man. That's awesome. I appreciate the support. Thank you, Lorenzo. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Super Chat Train. Thank you. The stress layer just dropping off, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we do. I'm going to use that. I'm like, basically, someone's like, what's your channel about? So basically, I'm just trying to like subtract layers of stress from people's lives. I'm the stress subtractor. I'm the stress subtractor. That's what I do. What do you do? Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Lorenzo. Thank you. Boy, I'm down. Hey, I'm down. Yeah, let's start a tribe. Let's do some meeting up out the country. The stress subtractor. Yeah, crop picking is picking crops, harvesting. Where are you gonna do that at? To Bozu, we got some trips. I never say where I'm going. I just show up and say I'm there. So we got some trips planned and planning, but y'all know me. I never say where I'm going. I just don't like to say because something happens. And I like the surprise. I love just showing up. Hey, I'm in San Diego. You know what I mean? So I never say. But we got some. We ain't just gonna be sitting in this apartment. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We ain't just gonna be sitting in the apartment all summer. We've been getting out, exploring Colorado, but I got some other trips. But yeah, one day I'll just be somewhere. Michael, I play like some old '90s video games, like Age of Empires and Rome Total War. Like I'm very nostalgic with my video games, and I play them every now and then. In my downtime, I read, watch stuff on the YouTubes. I hike a lot, I walk a lot. I try to walk every day. I didn't walk today. I try to walk. I do a lot of walking. But yesterday I walked a lot. Like I went downtown and walked around, and then I came back on the light rail, but then I walked home from the light rail station. So yesterday I walked a lot. So I think we're good. But yeah, I just kind of chill out, enjoy life. Talk to my friends, talk to my dad. Incognito. Okay, if I show up in New Hampshire, I need some dank ass pizza. I'm like, this ain't that dank, bro. This ain't what you promised me, dog. I was watching Stranger Things, and I'd already seen. I'd watched. Shout out to my boy Jordan Borders. Me and him watched Stranger Things. He's one turned it on to me years ago, and I hadn't. I got to like the end of season 1, and maybe like I remember. I started watching it again, and I remember bits of season 2, but I didn't remember the ending of season one. So I think maybe I was drunk when I watched the end of season one. I was drinking back then, but I got to season three and they brought up race, and I stopped watching it because one of the things I appreciated about it, I was like, oh, I love the fact that it's the '80s in Indiana and there's black people and no one talks about race. And they brought up race, and I stopped watching it. I'm putting Hollywood on notice. They did the same thing with Bridgerton. They did the same thing with Bridgerton. This time they got 4 episodes in, and I was like, wow, it's a TV show where the races are just like intermixed. Nothing, they're not talking about race. Episode 4, they brought it up. I stopped watching it. That one hurt because I was really liking Bridgerton. Stranger Things was getting weird anyway in season 3. Or maybe they brought it up at the end of season 2. Anyway, it was getting weird. So I was like, I'm done. Bridgerton, I was really invested in. And I even told my friend, shout out to my friend Valerian, I was like, I'm loving that, they have black people and Asians, Mexicans, like in roles, Hispanics, Latinos, which one's the right one? In roles that like you normally don't see, and no one's mentioning race. Episode 4, they brought up race. I said, I'm done. I'm not playing your game, Hollywood. I'm not playing your game. You are not gonna my whole life subject me to, oh yeah, we'll include, minorities in our shows and movies, but we're always going to have to reference that, like not just referencing race, but negatively. That's the thing too. You can reference race, but negatively. It always has to be an issue, and someone doesn't like it, and something bad happens. I'm not dealing with that no more. I'm not watching show. Nope. I'm done. Nope. I'm done. So yeah, sorry, that was a bit of a rant. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm done with Stranger Things. Michael, I do not feel the need to fall in love. No. I think there's the primal need for a partner, and then I think there's the program. I think like we have primal urges to like have sex. I think a lot of let me find one person and be with them the rest of my life is programming. My opinion. So like, yeah, sometimes it's like, oh man, it'd be cool to have somebody in my life who's like, I'm there for them, they're there for me. But like, if that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Like, I just don't. I think you can kind of unprogram yourself from thinking that's the normal, and I just don't. I see a lot of people really distraught, and it's hard for them to deal. It's fine with me, and part of it's I'm introvert. I like being alone, but like, yeah, there's not this overwhelming like I have to find someone. I need to be with someone. I think a lot of that's programmed into you. My opinion. A good excuse to cut out early from a seasonal gig, just tell them you don't want to be there. Like, you really have to have an excuse. I just, like, whatever's my reason, I either say that or I'm just like, it's not working for me. But usually I just tell them whatever my reason was. Y'all working me too much. I'm not enjoying it. Pays not, whatever the real reason, I just tell them. Billy Boy, I will be next month. It will be 4 years sober. So yeah, it's every July. It's another year. So next month it'll be 4 years. It doesn't seem that long. That's crazy. That's crazy. Appreciate you saying, yeah, man. It amazes me. It amazes me. Tony H, what do you think you might enjoy doing for work? You know, I think a lot of times we have some and go crazy with it. Even if it's something you think you couldn't do. Like, what do you think? Maybe something you do that you'd enjoy. Do I set intentions in the morning? Essence? Not really. Not really. I'm a big go with the flow kind of person. Sometimes I have a to-do list, but yeah, not really. Not really. Leo with the 5 year sober. Nice, nice. Congratulations. Nice. Nice. Hey, Michael, appreciate that. I said a lot of the wisdom you share on your page is defined a large part of my new age, entering into my 37th year. Nice. Glad I found your content. I jokingly say Tim is Alan Watts for the now. Best compliment ever. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, you know what I mean? I watch a lot of his stuff, so maybe that's. I literally like if I go on YouTube and there's a million, because there's no copyright on Alan Watts' stuff, so like everybody uploads it, and they just put a different picture or a different song in the background, but like I can't find it. I've heard it all of them. Like every now and then I'll come across the Alan Watts recording I haven't heard, and I'm like flabbergasted. I'm like, wow, like this is I'm telling you, I heard them all. I've listened to so much Alan Watts over the past few years, heard them all. But I still like this morning I was listening to it. The one he's got, like, I'm Not a Guru, I like that one. So I listen to that one a lot. Yeah. Lights, camera, bucks. Finish watching the vid and stop listening to your parents. Hey, glad that video gave me clarity. You can relate to it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Dixon Cider, love you too. Thank you. That's love. Love you too. Peter coming through. Your videos are helping me on my sober journey. Yes, yes, yes. High five. Love the honest positivity, very uplifting and inspiring. Hey, we try, Peter. We try, and thank you for taking the time to come through and leave the positive feedback. Say they're working. That means a lot. And I definitely need to do more sobriety content. I'm always saying that the fact that sobriety has become such a part of my life, sometimes I don't even think about it. But I do want to start doing more content. I'm like, no neck ad. Oh, okay. I don't know what that is. I said, what did I miss? Okay, the picture. Okay. Sometimes I read the comments, I get confused. I'm like, what did I miss? What's going on? Who's ad? What happened to his neck? I don't watch the news. I don't know this. I didn't go to college. I don't watch the news. I don't know this stuff. I'm slow. Thank you, Oid. Yeah, man, does not seem like 4 years. It does, but it doesn't. Actually, it does. It just does. It doesn't. Yeah, Michael. Yeah. I feel you. Sobriety is hard. Oh, you're welcome, Leo. Put you on the Cool Works 2018. I was. Hey, glad to. I was up in Estes Park, like at the store, and I ran into somebody and was like, "Oh, bro," he didn't remember my name. He's like, "You're on the internet." He was like, "Thank you for what about seasonal work," because he's working seasonally now. He rattled off a few places, so he's been doing it for a while, and I was like, "Wow!" Like I kind of. So I thought of this. I forget that I've been talking about seasonal work for a while, and so I'm like, "Oh yeah, somebody could have discovered it back when I first talking about it. They could have been doing it for a while now." You know what I mean? So yeah. Always glad to mention Cool Works, man. Like that website changed my life, man. Hap, thoughts on tapering towards sobriety instead of going cold turkey? I say do whatever works for you. Um, Nobody goes cold turkey. Everybody relapses, starts over. But I get it. The ideal will be like, all right, I'll just drink. Here's my thing. Whatever works for you, but I know a lot of people who started out trying to just like drink less and it didn't work. Cause like now it depends on like if you just drink socially and there's never really any bad behavior or hangovers or any of that, you just identify I want to drink less, okay. But a lot of people that like consume my content, they're like me and there's bad behavior and there's issues. And a lot of us have a hard time cutting back. So they'll say, "Oh, I'm just going to drink less," and they end up waking up hungover, drunk, and did something crazy again. So for people like that, I think it usually ends up being you have to just go completely sober because just cutting back. Like if we had self-control over drinking, we wouldn't be getting wasted every night. So if like you already know it's hard for you to control your drinking, just being like, oh, I'm only gonna have 3 tonight, probably is not gonna work. Okay. Would I have a long distance relationship with someone in another country? Probably not. Like, why even be in a relationship? Unless I was planning on moving there or she was gonna move here. But like, why not just be friends? Why make it official if we're in different countries? Dave, I don't. Says, do you ever feel like having a drink after 4 years? Like, I don't. Like, it doesn't. I just don't think about it. You know what I mean? It was funny. Like, one day I was out Instacarting or something, and I had to go down the beer aisle, and I was like, wow, there was a time I couldn't do this. I couldn't go down this aisle without buying alcohol, and I'm like, wow, like it's crazy how much like I don't think about drinking. I'm just like, if I'm on here and I'm talking about it, I think about it, but like I just don't think about drinking. So blessed. Like I don't want to drink. That's the thing. Like I don't want to drink. Like what? Like it doesn't. Like I don't want to. There was a time I wanted to, but I knew I shouldn't. But now I don't want to drink. I wouldn't. Even if they was like, Tim, you can drink and there's guarantee of no bad behavior. Nope. Like I don't want. Like I'm good. Like yeah, I just don't even want no. Love you too, TS. Thank you. Says, how do you deal with the issue of people saying you aren't reaching your full potential with simple living? For me, I just don't have a lot of people in my life, period. And most of the people who are in it, we, either understand why I do what I do or live a similar life. So I don't really have anybody other than like trolls on the internet. I just don't really have anybody in my life who says stuff like that to me. But if I did, and for some reason they had to be in my life, I probably would ask them to define full potential. And then when they brought out the cookie cutter work, business, career, family, I would say that's not stuff. Those aren't metrics that matter to me. So what you're defining is what you think is full potential, and what I'm living over here is full potential to me. So I'd be like, there's the disconnect because you have a different definition of full potential than me. I am living up to my full potential or working towards it because this is how I like to live. So that'd be my comeback. How do you handle stress sober? Good question. You basically handle it the same way you handle it drunk, because like you don't handle like drinking doesn't take care of stress away. It just takes it away temporarily. You eventually have to sober, unless you stay drunk 24/7. You eventually have to like deal with some stuff sober. You think that like drinking helps you handle stress because it temporarily clouds your thinking faculties. You don't have to think about it, but it's still there. You've never drunk stress away. You've never got drunk and woke up in the morning, the stress was gone. No, you just have to you just push it back. So like it's the same game. You just don't have that crush. Like drinking doesn't help you deal with anything. We just think it does. It's just like when I got stressed, I just deal with it. Like, like it's just you have to deal with it. Yeah, like there's nowhere to run. You got to deal with it. Hey, you're welcome, Billy Boy. Yeah. Glad you like the videos. And congrats on 12 months. Congrats on the 1 year. That's awesome. That's a big milestone. Congrats on that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Keep it going. Let's go. Let's go. And I think that's, in the beginning, yeah, like when you're used to the liquid courage aspect or the alcohol making you more outgoing or allowing you to forget about some of your issues, that's some of the harder stuff to like in the beginning deal with. But as you stay sober, it just naturally find yourself finding other coping mechanisms and just other ways to deal with stuff. But in the beginning, yeah, for the past 10 years, every time you're stressed, you got drunk. When you get stressed, your body's gonna be like, we need to drink. But like as you feed different data, to your brain. It's like, oh, sometimes we get stressed, we don't drink. Let me find other coping mechanism. Oh, or if we're sober, we can get right to solving the problem. You know what I mean? Like it's just, but it takes time. It just takes time to get to that place. Whoa, Daniel, sober gang, more productive and happy than ever. Nice, nice. I don't worry about retirement. We talked about this a little earlier. Yeah, I don't worry about retirement. Like I just don't. Like you can identify, like, yeah, the day may come when I can't work, like but I don't worry about it now. My plan is to just have enough passive income streams coming in. I don't have to work. But like, yeah, I don't worry about it. Like, you don't have to worry. What I do to relax and unwind? Watch stuff on the YouTube, or hang out with my friends. I just do the things I like to do. Like I don't. That's another one of those things. You program yourself to use alcohol to relax, but there's other ways. There's other ways to do it. When you were a kid, how did you relax and unwind before you start drinking? It's possible. I mean, there's trillions of people on the planet who don't drink. They're not all uptight. Like you just do relaxing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you just do relaxing stuff. That's programming. They're like, oh, I had a stressful day. I got to drink. If you never drank in your life, what would you come home and do? You know, my opinion on weed. I don't smoke weed, but like I really don't have an opinion on it. Like, you want to smoke weed? Smoke weed. I don't smoke because I want to be sober at all times. I used to, not a lot, but I would. But now it's like, what's the point? So, but people do what they do. Yeah, that's a big one. Think about your life before you started drinking. And as a kid, like you had fun and you relaxed and you handled, like, how much stress we had as kids. All of us had some childhood stuff we had to deal with, and we dealt with it sober. We relied on the love from our families and parents if we had, like you just, and that, I did a video. I think I did a video on this. I don't know if I posted it, but I was like, that's another thing I tell myself. Like, there's an 8-year-old girl in New Hampshire having a horrible, childhood, and she's dealing with it sober, and only been on this planet 8 years. But as a man in my 40s, I can't deal with my problem sober. There's a 6-year-old boy somewhere, at a, going through whatever, at a hospital, terminal ill, whatever, dealing with it, 100% sober. But me as a grown man, I can't deal with my problems without drinking, without smoking weed, without doing drugs. Come on. Come on. Think about the stuff you went through as a child. You dealt with it 100% sober. Now, as a grown up with more knowledge of how the world works, hopefully, you have to be drunk. Like, that's what I would tell myself. Like, nah, I can't live with that. I can't live. And I know it's a fight, to get sober. Trust me. But it's like stuff like that. I'm like, I can't live with. The kids is doing it sober. I did it in the past sober, but now I can't. It's obviously programming. It's obviously, addiction. I'm a grown man, grown woman. Danya, I don't know how I'm gonna celebrate. I know, like, how me personally I'm gonna celebrate 100K is just taking a moment. Just taking one of them one of the moments. And then I'm gonna immediately how to get my 100K plaque. I don't know how I'm gonna celebrate on the channel. I got some ideas. I got some new content I want to start incorporating, stuff like that. But I know for me, it's gonna be one of the moments. Like, Yeah. Rhett, glad you were able to cry it out. Hey, sometimes we have breakdowns. It happens. Glad you was able to cry it out. Yeah, Michael. That tell you, that's a deep one. That's a deep one. That first hit me there, I'm like, wow, like, yeah, 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 man. As kid, like I said in my, you're born enlightened. You were born enlightened in your lied to video. Um, I think we had it figured out as kids, and all this other stuff happens. The programming comes in, and people start telling, oh, this is what you do in this situation. This is how you behave in this situation. This is the substance you take in this situation. And we just believed it, and we start doing it, and we get used to it, or we get addicted to it. But it's like if you look back to your childhood, like you had it figured out, man. You did what you had to do. They made you go to school. You went to school. You came home, did things you loved. Very simple. As we get older, we start to add all this other, crazy stuff in there, and you know, these beliefs that they program this. But like as a kid, it was simple. Kid never asked, "What's my purpose in life?" They're always doing something. You know, kid never asked that. Yeah, that mental hack. Yeah, I mean, kids don't. They just get up and live. They just exist, and they're excited about it. Kids wake up in the morning, ready to get out the bed, running around, trying different stuff. Can't wait to hang out with their friend. Like they just live. We get up now at an adult. Like, what am I gonna do? What is it gonna do? What's fun? It's almost like we're scared of fun a lot of times. You know, like yeah, what changed? What changed? Kids get excited about small stuff. They're fascinated. Like, and I think we still have all that in us. We just feel like as adults we can't stop and stare at a dung beetle for 10 minutes. That's no, I was wasting time. And I read like all this stuff is programmed in us. If the program wasn't there, we'd still be living like kids. I think if this concept of you got to be an adult, you got to behave this way wasn't there, we'd still be fascinated by the same stuff. We'd still be kind of do like if you look at like the few examples of like tribal cultures we still have left, or if you look at videos, they were still very curious and just very like fun loving and just interacting and simple stuff. That's the secret. All this stuff now, like man, I gotta be responsible, gotta be an adult, gotta oh. You buy kids a present, they like the wrapping paper more than the present until they get told they have to have a present. Now, the TV and the phone tells them they have to have the certain present of the year. Then they want that. But left to their own devices, kids will play with the box. You got to tell them, no, that's the box. The other thing's the toy. They're like, whatever, that toy's dumb. I like the box. You mean like it's just, I don't know. Life is. Oh yeah, you're in my head because I read your comment. I'm just that good. I can read the comment and then pretend like I came up with that out of my head. I do that a lot. I'll scan and then I'll be like, yeah, blah blah blah. I really just read your comment. Um, I'm just good. Um, yeah, simple. Like, dude, if you give a toddler a dishwasher box and the dishwashing detergent is in there, they might stare at it for days if they take some of that. They smell. Oh, you mean the box with the actual dishwasher? I thought you meant like dishwasher powder. I was like, yeah, dishwasher a refrigerator box. That's gonna be a fort. That's gonna be a horse, man. The kid. But nah, we feel like we have to buy them expensive toys. It's crap. The life provides all the toys kids need. Yeah, get him a bicycle, a baseball, a little bit like all this expensive stuff. Which I will say, I have gone on record to say, buy the kids a video game system now because they might do that for a career. And you only have to buy it once. Well, until the new one comes out. No, I'm not going for the record. I'm actually about to wrap it up. Getting pretty hungry, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is a good stopping point. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Really appreciate the love. Had some technical difficulties in the beginning, but they got better. Thank y'all so much for spending some of your Sunday evening with me. Hopefully you have a great rest of your evening, night. Stay safe. Have a great week. Shout out to everybody, the thumbs uppers, thumbs downers, the lurkers, the usual suspects, the OGs. Big shout out to the Super Chat squad. Everybody who jumped on the Super Chat train. Really appreciate the support. Thank y'all so much for that. Definitely helps to keep the motivation going, do the streams. I love each and every one of y'all. I mean that. I'll talk to y'all soon. I got to go get my salad. Love y'all.